But I guess it adds a little bit, because then everyone's got the Shure emblem on it.
So so it's Vision, so this is Black Sail, but
Yes.
Vision Media is yours.
Yes,
I'm not interviewing you.
No,
I'm going to shut up.
This is great. I want it to be both ways. The Vision Media Club is obviously the podcast name. It actually rebranded from something different. It was Film Forest. Before that, I know it's crazy because the green, that's like kind of my thing.
I guess
The
so.
forest, I love earth tones. But I wanted to change it to more of not just film, more, anyone that's creative. So I thought like Creative Vision Media Club. And then it opens it up to being like a community if I want to make it one in the future, where it's like an actual community of people. The guests that I have on even can like be part of this community.
I like that.
And leave it open-ended so that, it could evolve. It's not just, a podcast. It could be like a whole sort of get up,
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. How old are you?
I'm 21. Keating's age.
Insane. Insane. He's 23.
Oh, he is? Really?
Yeah, I just asked him.
Oh,
That's funny
shit.
because I did. I just asked him.
Oh, shit.
I was like, how old are you now? He's like, I just turned 23 last week. I'm like, oh, happy birthday.
So how did you guys meet? Because he's always, listen, let me preface this, because
Yeah, go.
when we were in college, he would always talk about, you got to meet this guy, Nick Williams. Like, he's great. Like, you guys would get along so good. Like, this guy, Nick Williams, like, he's great. Like, you got to, and then he sent me the Instagram. And I've just been like, I hit you up actually like probably a year after I followed you initially to actually do a podcast. So I've always seen your content. It's always been about, the real side of, filmmaking. It's not like the bullshit.
Well, yeah, because everybody's fake.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just like try to be as much opposite of that as possible.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So you guys met through like a job. How did you guys sort of?
Yeah, this kid that I hired to film something for me was doing a project on, like, he was making a short film at Dan's high school, and Dan's high school in Fall River, they had like a media program at the high school, and that high school did the local cable access for that entire town. So their media program at the high school was like a legit one. Like they ran like TV, cable there, which was cool. Because a lot of places they'll have like a class with a computer and they teach you how to use Final Cut. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This was like you're broadcasting. Yeah. So it was kind of cool. So they had, out of that class, they had 10 people that wanted to like PA and help out on that production. Mm-hmm. And I was the AD, and Dan was one of the kids. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of one of those things where I walked in on day one and I went, you, come here, you're mine now for the day. Yeah. And then he became mine for like the rest of he still is. Yeah. If I called him and he'd be like, I'm an economics major, or whatever it is, and I'd be like, yeah, well, today you're going to be doing this. And he's like, all right, I'll be right there.
So that relationship. So you found him at that job, and then you just started bringing him on other stuff.
Immediately, because he's very passionate about everything. He's a great kid. I love Dan. Yeah, he's a pain in the ass, but I love him.
Yeah, I mean, we've done in college we did a few things together, like little short creative things, but. Yeah, was he ever on your show? I think was he? I saw some clips.
He was recently.
Yeah,
he was recently. He came in and I had him on. It's not I mean, it's nothing personal to him. It's just that when you're younger, like I like to interview people on my show that I don't know much about. Mm-hmm. So I know everything about Dan. You know what I mean? What am I gonna ask him?
Yeah.
He is good though for when he needs a pick me up. You know what I mean? If he's upset about something, he'll call me and then I'll be like, "No, you're totally wrong. It's actually not that bad." And
I've gotten a few calls like that. I love him though. He's great.
Yeah.
So then the Nick Williams show.
Yes.
That started when? When was that?
Oh, about a year ago. I would say a little over a year ago. I've been doing it. I try and do a post every Monday. It's difficult when you're running a business. The whole thing behind the Nick Williams show is like I wanted to talk about my life. I wanted to talk about which is my career essentially, and it's kind of evolved into a couple different things. I try not to talk about politics, although these days it's all anybody can really talk about. So if something really big happens, I'll talk about it. Mm-hmm. Because it's topical and let's be honest.
Well,
You got to get viewers.
You look
know?
at the films being made, like One Battle After Another is apparently this crazy political movie as well.
Yeah, everything. And I don't want to say like I'm pretty open to any story. Like I'm a producer. That's my job.
Okay.
So if someone brings me a script and they're like, this is what I want to do, and like, I'll get it made. I don't care if it's like communist propaganda or like super right wing, whatever. Like it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
My whole like goal is to get as many actual original stories made, not original to me, but original to like the creators.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, because the only thing Hollywood's doing right now is like Avengers 17, Avengers 25, again and again. It's just like exploiting IPs until they're worth nothing. And it's because they're not filmmakers. They're just a bunch of accountants that look at a spreadsheet and go, this will make us money, you know? And money's important, don't get me wrong, but we need like My Cousin Vinny's to come back. We need, we need like hour and a half good flicks, good movies. And we're like totally straying from that, which I think is part of the reason everybody's so obsessed with politics and reels and social media and all that other stuff, because there is nothing else to go to.
Yeah.
And we crave that like flawed people and stories about real people, and we don't really have much of that anymore. Everybody has a superpower.
But part of the reason of establishing that show was to have those real conversations,
yes.
I'm assuming.
Wow,
So,
you're good. Thank you for getting me back to that. I'll just
Yeah.
start talking. Shut up. Yeah, it's to have conversations, but it's also to exploit the fact, like there's, it's literally to showcase that New England is this weird hub of like a ton of filmmakers. So Massachusetts has these great tax incentives for making motion pictures, like 25% plus, 25% off payroll. Like there's like tons of tax incentives, and there are a bunch of studios that were built and. Like Marina Bay Studios is one of them, and they're booked through 2026. And they were built in 2021, I think, and immediately, like they were booked solid. And so it's not like there's a lack of work when it comes to narrative filmmaking.
Sure.
And so because of that, we also have right now there's like 15,000, I would say, IATSE members and stuff like that right in Boston or around Boston, right? So. It's not New York, so it's a little bit smaller. So I include like Rhode Island and stuff like that in there. But there's tons of movies getting made all the time. And if you think about all of like famous actors and things that came out of New England, Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, all of those people, they just moved out to LA because that's where they were making them. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but LA burned down recently. It's kind of gone. And now it's more of like a spot where the executives are, and they kind of say, go make a movie and bring it back.
Well, aren't some studios closing or moving out of LA?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in LA that's a little backwards. Yeah, like they're building a ton of studios right now. Of studios right now.
In LA?
Because of, it's all about taxing. So like the tax incentive right now, LA is like the only county, or Los Angeles proper is the only town that is zoned for like film production. Like that is the lifeblood of Hollywood in that area, right? So when you're building a building, if you're going to build an apartment, that's a different zoning ordinance. It's a different code. So what they're doing is they're building a whole bunch of. Is that me?
No, that was me.
Okay, because it might be me. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's good, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Just making sure.
So right now, go ahead, go. It's all about you, Mark.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All good.
I'm totally kidding with you. Go.
Yeah, the red is,
Just wanted to check, that's all.
100%. Yeah. Pull up a chair, kid. I'm sure. So right now in LA, they're building a whole bunch of studios because they're zoned that way, so they can pay less tax. Sure. And then when movies don't get made after a certain amount of time, they can turn the studio buildings themselves into like low-income housing, things like that. It's all a farce. Like it's all fake. And it's really, you're seeing a lot of people kind of come back this way. And I originally I wanted to start being preachy on my show about the film industry in New England, and then I was like, I should just start interviewing people,
Yeah.
And so I started reaching out to first people that I've worked with, and then I started reaching out to other people that I hadn't worked with yet, and then people who hadn't worked with me yet were reaching out and being like, "Hey, love to come on the show and talk about this stuff." And it's incredible. It's been really great. I had somebody fly up from Florida recently. He was on.
Nice.
He's originally from here, and I'm like, the whole time I'm like, "Are you gonna move back, or like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Because it's really cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I think so. We obviously operate mainly in Long Island and the city. We do
My
jobs
family's
all
originally
over.
from here.
Oh,
well,
nice.
my grandparents.
What town?
My grandfather's from Rockville Center, and my grandmother was in Manhattan. Then she went to Lynbrook.
Oh,
So
nice.
Long Island, legit.
Nice. Yeah, that's where the comic shop is, Lynbrook. So I've been
Sick.
around there. It's a nice town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we do a lot of work in obviously New York because we're based here, but we travel all over the world. But a lot of work is in Manhattan. Even you look at all the movie press junkets they do. It's either all the way east in Manhattan or all the way west in California.
Sure.
But I'm interested to know what sort of work do you involve yourself in like Massachusetts and the surrounding areas?
So my company it's threefold. One is
Go ahead and explain the company.
okay. So it's like podcast production, not just for myself. Part of me doing a podcast is to show people that I can do podcasts. So people call me all the time, "Do you do podcasts for other people?" That kind of thing. So it is advertising, like subliminally, I guess. I just built. That's where most of those interviews were done. Actually, I just helped one of my clients build a podcast studio. I designed the whole thing, picked every piece, and then was working out of there for the last year. And we were under contract for a year so that I could like show everybody how to use everything and build that up. And so a lot of those interviews are done there. So we do podcast production on one, client work, which is anything from like a local bakery who wants to make a reel to, I've done some pretty big projects for some big companies, construction companies, and just commercial work, advertising and other stuff. And then there's narrative. Whoa! And then there's like narrative film stuff.
Sure.
Sorry about that.
All good.
Then there's narrative film stuff where I'm mostly a producer. I got my start doing narrative work through editing, though. That's where the whole thing started. So yeah. That's what we do. So
narrative
commercial podcast.
But you said you're mainly producing, so you're not really shooting as much.
No, I'm not. I am not a DP. There's no question about it. I can tell you when it's wrong. I can be like, I don't like that shot at all, and I'll tell you why it's wrong. But I'm a big guy. I'm usually dressed like this.
Very producer-esque.
Yeah. Like, and I'm I'm the guy you want on set when you're making something, and the client likes to hover. And be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And you want me to be like, "Let's go get some coffee. Let's talk about how this is going to be quadruple what you think it's going to be." You know.
So do you have guys working at the your location or you kind of subcontract it out?
I subcontract out a lot of stuff. I mean, I can probably have nowadays. I could probably have upwards, if you had the budget for it, 100, 150 people, crew people. Yeah, like within a week's notice, like, here's what you're doing, just making phone calls, which is cool. I have had people, like Dan worked for me for a summer. That was nice. But it's, I don't know. A lot of it's like on the phone. A lot of, you know what I mean? A lot of it is, we're editing. How many hands can you have on one keyboard, you know?
But you like editing, do you?
Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad. It's how I got my start, so it's very easy. And I shoot things for the edit. So I'm very particular about a lot of different things. But I don't know, there's like an element of trust, especially like if I'm hiring you specifically to shoot something for me, it's because I've seen your work. I know like what you're capable of. I know, I like to work with people who are really creative but also get things done. I've written a lot of checks to a lot of people, and I can be kind of a pain in the ass to work with, but not really. Like I give people pretty much free reign.
What's the biggest challenge, I guess, as a producer? Hiring these people. Is it scheduling? Is it like mainly the client end of things, of just like bitchy client? Like what is like the most frustrating?
Yeah. Well, the most frustrating thing is film students usually. So when I have no problem hiring on anybody. it's literally, especially when it comes to client work specifically. So client work is all determined based on their budget.
Sure.
So, but I like to overpromise, underdeliver. So, I mean, I'm sorry, I like to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Underpromise, overdeliver. So, if I can give them as much as possible, especially if it's like a training thing. Like I had Dan worked for me for a summer, and also this kid Jaden, who also went to Hofstra.
Okay.
Jaden Moffat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
They worked for me the same summer, and I mean, it was like trial by fire. Like I was like, "You're doing this now. You're DPing this short film," and Jaden was like 18. It's like what?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like I enjoy being able to be the person who's like, no, do it this way. Here's why you do it this way. Like, actually learn something. And then, no offense to anybody who went to Hofstra, they would leave and go to school, and while they're at school, they call me and go, these people don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, none of this applies to real life, which we just did for a summer before, you know?
Well, it's funny you mention that because I used to be a filmmaking major my first semester in. I switched to marketing because I was just like, I don't know, I wasn't really learning anything in that was applicable to film. I did a screenwriting class and then a cinema studies, which was like snooze fest. It was at 8 p.m. to like 11 p.m. and it was just playing movies on a projector and then talking with a teacher that had a certain opinion about the film, and like you couldn't argue with her because she was right, or like even your papers. It's like I didn't feel that sense of like, wow, like because my expectation of film school was, oh, you know, you're going in.
What was your expectation of film school? It's a good question.
Yeah, my expectation was, it was flawed. I thought that I'd go in and just start directing and having people sort of be like, oh, okay, like Tony's got a voice and like, well, let's follow what he does. That was my perception of just the film world in general. And then when I went to school, I thought that we'd be just straight to just making stuff. And I think it was also mainly the people that bothered me. I thought I had a different expectation of the kinds of people that would be in the film school in terms of their attitudes towards just working on productions and they're just everything. It was a 180 for me where I was like,
yeah, this is my problem with film school.
I don't want to be around these people, and they're not even people that have like an initiative to want to make stuff outside of school. So like, what am I doing?
So for me, it's like 2, 3, it's a bunch of folds in there. There's a lot of layers to it. I was going to go to film school in like 10th, like 8th grade. I used to live in Los Angeles.
Okay.
My grandmother got sick with cancer. She ended up passing away 2015. But we moved back out here. We're originally from Massachusetts. We moved back to Massachusetts in like 2008. And because I was living in Los Angeles and then moving to Massachusetts, I was like, well, forget being a filmmaker. Like, that's dumb. I'll just do something else. I was wrong, thankfully. But I didn't end up going to film school. And then other people that did go, I would hear the same type of stuff. And I used to be like so jealous of people that would be able to go to film school, like Emerson or, you know, Hofstra or NYU or like any of these places where they do film, you know? Yeah. I'm so thankful that I didn't go. And I don't have any, see, here's the thing. If you're from like rural Idaho, go to film school. You want to go to film school. What are you going to do? Talk to a stalk of corn for the rest of you know what I mean? Like you got to go, you know? If you're living in a big major city, especially nowadays where everybody is making content and everybody is a filmmaker, if you can't find some people to hold a light stand, you know what I mean, hold the light up or whatever it is, like you're doing something else wrong. Film school is not going to solve your problem, you know?
That's the thing. They think it's going to like blast their career, like when they get out. Oh, I'm you know, doing this and doing that.
I posted a reel recently online about film school, and one of the comments I got on it, I think it was on YouTube. One of the comments I got on it was like, oh yeah, well, film school is like mostly for networking. That's why people go. And for me, I'm like, I know that I'm an extrovert. I know I can walk into a room and talk to anybody, and I understand. This is also why I produce. So I like editing, but I'm the producer guy because normally the DPs are like, and this is not an attack on anybody. Yeah. Normally the DPs are like quieter, shy. They like to stay behind the camera. They have opinions. It's not like they can't speak, but they don't like confrontation. So when a client comes in and they're like, well, you know this, I'm the guy who's like, yeah, let's have a chat. Let's talk, because I'm not afraid of anybody. What are you gonna do? Hit me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this is business. And so a lot of people are like, oh, thanks. You know, I used to say it all the time. I'd be like, if you need a bad guy, hire me. I'm the guy who can be the bad guy. And I'm actually not a bad guy. I'm just not.
I get you.
You have to have a level. The way that I talk to people is determined completely on the way that they talk to me. So if you're aggressive toward me, you're gonna get 100% aggression back. And if you're nice, then I'll be nice. I'm a human. I'm just a regular person, you know?
So what is your definition of a filmmaker? Because we talked about, you know, there's so many quote-unquote filmmakers. What is I like asking my guests that. What is your definition?
Somebody who makes films. Somebody who makes anything. The difference between a filmmaker and a content creator.
Yeah, that's definitely a hot topic.
I would say when you tell stories on camera, you're a filmmaker. If you are creating how-to videos or, you know, tutorials or things like that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not a filmmaker. You're a content creator, you know? So I think it has more to do with the, or if you're doing this, you're a podcaster, as an example. And you can be all those things, but if you're making even if it's like an improv thing, like there's no written script, but you're like, okay, then you say this and then you say this, and it's like a fake scenario that ends up getting edited together and something. That's a filmmaker. Why not? And you see this now. Like I love when people are like, oh, that's not cinema. That's not this. That's not that. Okay, go sit down. Go retire. Yeah. What are you gonna do? The world keeps turning. So like you have to do something. You might want to make movies a certain way, but like. Well, whatever you like, it doesn't matter. It's like it's gonna keep going.
That's another thing, the opinionated stuff, and also that kind of delves into the whole like festival route that a lot of people do. And what is your outlook on like festivals? Is it because for me, I actually am going to London next week. One of my films got into
nice, good for you. Going to London, yeah.
There's a Motor Film Awards festival in London, and one of my films got in, and obviously I feel super validated about it.
You should.
Like, wow, like this is cool, but like. It's just based on a jury of like 30 maybe people that I think it was. But like, what is your take on what do festivals mean for a filmmaker?
Sure. I think festivals are overblown in some cases, but I also feel like filmmakers in general don't utilize the benefits of festivals. If you're going to a festival with the 3 other people that helped you make it, or that helped you make the thing, and you're not, it's difficult in this specific situation because you're going to London. But like if there was a Long Island Film Festival, as an example.
Sure.
If you're showing up to the festival with your crew and your actors who were in the film, and you only talk to them the whole time you're there, and you go and you sit and you watch your movie, and you didn't tell anybody else about that you were in the festival, and you didn't harp on your friends and say, bro, just come to the festival. Like, I'll pay for your ticket. Just come with me. Come to the festival. And while you were there, you didn't meet any other director, and you didn't walk up to that guy and go, yo, that was your film, the second one on the block? I loved that film. That was great. What do you want out of it? What do you want out of it? You want a little trophy? Like, go on Amazon and buy yourself a little trophy and put it on your shelf. Like, it is validating. It's nice to have anyone say that you did a good job, and that's totally like valid, and it's worth the feelings of it. Festivals cost a lot of money. If you're not utilized, and nowadays there's nobody there from Warner Brothers who's like, I'd like to turn that into a feature.
Yeah, that's the
sir.
thing. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Like, people aren't gonna go like, oh my god, like that guy. Like, let's talk. Like,
you still got to make it worth your while.
Yeah.
So you still paid to submit. You submitted to a whole bunch of places, I'm assuming.
Yes. And
didn't get into every single one of them, right?
I'm still waiting on the ones. This is like the first one that I heard back from.
And you're like 100% going to go,
yes.
Right? If you go to that festival and you don't talk to the other filmmakers there, and you don't, it's not about like, well, you know, some people are introverted or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, drop that. Get over that. It's not that it's easy to do. If it was easy, everybody would be Spielberg. Like people don't get that. You know what I mean? If it was easy to be a neurosurgeon, everybody would be a neurosurgeon. Like, if you want to stand out and if you want to make it your career, it doesn't mean you have to be like over the top and crazy and like me, like yelling all the time or anything like that. But like, it's never, if you feel validated when someone comes up to you and says, hey, was that your film? I really like that. Why would they not feel validated if you did that to them?
Yeah.
You know? So like you have to be willing to go out of your way. And listen, some of these people suck. Some of them will be like, yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's okay. You go, that's that guy. That's his problem.
Yeah.
You know? Like you have to, because 9 times out of 10, they won't be that way. And they go, thank you so much. Because they're just as introverted as we are.
Yeah.
You know, like they're just as like scared to walk up to somebody else. And like I had a festival, or I had a film in a festival that I edited and produced. And this guy who worked at Avid Media Composer, like the actual Avid company, walked up and like gave me his card, and he was like, "That was great, like blah blah blah, like you should do something with Avid." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't do Avid, thanks." And I was like, I like pretend to be an extrovert.
Okay.
Like it's
really, so you're introverted, you're saying?
Kind of. I don't when it has to do with me. Like as an example, lovely Marvin. If he got up and started screaming at you, and like we knew each other before, I'm gonna come to your defense to the death. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Whereas, and if he was screaming at me, but like I wouldn't go out of my way to start screaming at him for no reason. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yes, you're in like a defense mode almost. Like
sometimes
if something happens,
yeah. If I have to use the superpowers, I will.
Yeah.
But I use them for good, not evil. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not an aggressive person, and I don't like talking about myself at all. Which is funny that I showed up for that. but I really don't. Yeah.
So for the festivals, though, the route has changed, right? Because it used to be like the Hollywood route where it's these big directors, and it's hard for me because I always compare myself to like the directors that are working now that are, considered the best, like, Nolan, Denis, like, those people. They came from a different world of filmmaking, and I hate.
Did they?
I mean, it looks like it, like in terms of how the festivals have changed into more of like, okay, you're not just getting picked up from a studio.
So let me ask you this: what happens after festivals? Do you go to a festival, like you're going to London, and I am not invalidating anything about that, and I think it's sick. Honestly, that's sick. I'd love to go to London. I would love to, you know what I mean? Like that'd be awesome.
Sure.
What's next? So you go to London, like let's say you talk it out. Like you go to London, they give you your award, or they call you up, or they whatever. You do your little interview thing in the director chair that they put out front, right? Mm-hmm. And that's awesome, and it's a great feeling. And then what?
And that's
the part right there. That's the part right there. That look of like, I was gonna think about that eventually.
Yeah.
That's the part where people fall off. That's the part where where there needs to be more. So like, what is the film that you have in the London festival?
Pantera 1, it's called. It's a
documentary.
Film.
Is it
It's a narrative. It's short.
Oh, okay, good.
Narrative short. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. So what are you gonna do with it?
Hopefully going to go there and make as many connections as possible, get numbers.
Yeah, it's easy to say now that I just said that. But I'm saying, like, what are you going to do? What is your plan, like, after the festival? Like, you go to the festival, and that's great.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with the film?
I'm big on just making the next one. I'm just making the next film.
I know. But, like, how do you recoup on your investment? Like, I'm assuming it cost you something.
Yeah.
Even if it was just time.
Sure, yeah.
It cost you something to make that movie. Mm-hmm. How many times can you do that? And let's be honest, like I work with clients. Like my clients are very like a tight-knit short list of clients that I work with because I'm such a pain. I don't want to deal with all these. If you're hiring me, you're getting all of me.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it. And like I have one that I'm thinking of right now that I like used to literally yell at her. Like she would have to read these things and I'd be like, "Are you an idiot?" Like, oh my gosh. And she writes me checks all the time. Like it's like honesty, you know what I mean? It's really funny. If she sees this, she'll die laughing. But my point with the client thing is, I don't want to deal with the general public. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, does anybody really want to deal with everybody? You know?
Yeah.
It's not in particular anybody bad, but everybody you're gonna bring some bad. Mm-hmm. You know? For me, I would rather make movies all the time and not have to deal with the general public all the time. And so because of that, you have to have a plan either for distribution or a way to like recoup on that investment. Otherwise, you have to deal with the client work, right? Mm-hmm. In order to pay for the fun work.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Which is not bad. That's not bad, dude. It's not about bad or good. You have to decide at some point what it is that you want to do. And if you like the fun work, and if you realize you can get paid to do the fun work, if you have the right like formulas and you can, do that stuff, then you don't have to deal with the BS. And that takes time. It's not like there's no like magic button, by the way, where it's like I showed up here and I can be like, here, click this, should be all set.
Well, time and also the right actions, like you're saying with the whole festival. Like, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do there? Like, it's not just like, waiting it out, making another film. Okay, is this going to be it?
Right,
okay,
right,
is this one gonna
right.
be it?
And there's nothing like people do this all the time. Like you show, especially if it's like your first festival you've ever been to.
Yes, first short film.
Yeah, like that's, dude, go have fun. Like what? Yeah. I'm saying long term. Festivals can get expensive, even ones that are like $20 to like submit to. It can get like you can spend thousands of dollars submitting to festivals, and then if it's the wrong length of time that's not programmable for their festival, whatever, then they just don't accept you. You don't get that money back.
Wow.
So it's like, how many thousands of dollars are you going to put in? How many clients do your festival submissions equate to? Let alone the film itself.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to have X amount of clients so that you can pay your bills and then have money to make a film. Then you have to have more clients so that you can pay for getting into festivals. And then you go to festivals, and if you're not making connections and shaking hands, like what is the point of all of that? It's like costing you money. And then a lot of people get burnt out, and then they quit, and they say, well, this isn't working for me. I can't do anything. Well, no, you didn't do anything to begin with. That's why. It's not that you can't do anything. You didn't utilize all of these tools. It's not about going to a festival to have Warner Brothers want to buy your film. If they're not there to want to buy your film, go there, and you should be talking to other people. Let's work together. Can we collab on something? Do you want to come on my podcast? Oh, you're from New York too? That's crazy. We met in London. You should come home and be on my podcast. We'll talk about our films.
Yeah.
Why would you not do that?
Because that's the route. And also, another thing, the big thing is what I'm trying to do right now is, like you're saying, minimize the client work and do more things I like to do, which is obviously the social media route. I love posting on TikTok, Instagram,
My God,
YouTube.
come work for me. I hate posting. It's such a pain.
I am so into the social media game. I love, seeing how people react to certain posts and certain like hooks and whatever it is.
Sure.
I think I have a unique perspective, and I'm confident in my perspectives when I say them. And I'd love for that to equate into that dollar amount to fund those fun things and just be a guy that just has fun doing everything and making money and making narrative films and not have to deal with a single client ever. What have you seen people that have been able to do that? Number one, and number two, is that where you want to be too, or where's your goal?
Yeah, my goal would be so everybody calls it like the film industry. That's completely incorrect. We are in the entertainment industry. So when you're, like the Nick Williams show as an example, when you're watching my show, I'm crazy and loud and out there because I want you to kind of giggle and go, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like there is that aspect of it. When you're making a documentary, you're not, like you have a story to tell and you have I'm sure emotions or a message you want to get across or whatever it is, but like you're entertaining the public. It's not going to change anybody's life necessarily. It might, but everybody, it's completely subjective is what I'm saying. So like I have a friend who was like a kind of a crackhead. Now I can't say his name because he wasn't really a crackhead, but he was kind of like a low life.
Okay.
Working at a gas station. We went to see Wolf of Wall Street. And the next day he got a job at a bank, and now he's a branch manager making like $120 a year. Like movies can change your life. Now he obviously had like Marty didn't call him and go, you should work at a bank, but like he was inspired enough by a film to go, okay, working and like doing things this way could be fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Dressing up in a suit, like whatever, could be so you can dress up in a suit and still do drugs. It's kind of is like, which I don't
there's
advocate
levels,
for.
Right? There's there's the messaging, but there's also the raw entertainment value, like you're saying. It's an experience. Like look at the F1
But that's
movie.
what it is. It's an experience. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
We're in the entertainment industry. It doesn't matter if you're on stage or you're doing a podcast or it's a narrative thing. The part of it, when you ask me what do I want to do long term, it's the client work that it's like, and it's not that the clients are bad. Love my clients.
What's about it?
It's theirs.
Yeah, that's my big problem too.
It's there. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a person who likes to make decisions. And thankfully, I've made a lot of right decisions. So my clients kind of tend to go the direction of like, okay, what do we do? Like, how do we pull this off? But like, I'm still pulling off their thing. I'm not creating my, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm making a movie or when I'm helping or producing or whatever, editing, whatever it is, I'm right there. I'm like married to it. I am not on a project unless I'm like, oh, this is going to be sick. Like I am right there. And that's, you know, if I don't have that fire over like somebody making a pizza and like doing a cool B-roll vertical twist, like,
oh God.
Like, okay,
yeah,
cool. That's cool. You know,
there's plenty of people do it, like, and that's fine. It's not me. You know, that's the thing.
Well, and to be honest, and I mean it with the best intentions for everybody who's listening, but like with AI, everybody who just makes B-roll looping kind of, they're all out of a job. If that's your main bread and butter, you're out. And because of AI and because of CGI and because of, you know, cameras with IBIS or like all these stabilization things and this like trend of like the cameraman doesn't exist. Like you're just kind of floating through everything. There's no, like, I hate that. Yeah. If you watch any movie out of the 90s where they're like had a camera on a dolly, you see like all these little bumps, shakes, little twitches, and you're like, oh my God. It helps you kind of remember and realize like there are 50 people outside the frame that are making this frame look good. Like that's so cool to me. That's a really really cool aspect of it. The collaboration of everything.
I've always loved like the you know, even like the crane shots from like that period where they're like, it's not fully on target of the subject of where it's supposed to go, and then it makes like a big adjustment, and then it's on it.
100%.
I'm like, because there was a human operating that little thing, and it was like it's such a handmade like touch to it. And I love that, and nowadays it's all precision. Everything's to the point. I'm just like,
get me on equipment now. Yeah, I love equipment. Who doesn't love equipment? It's so much fun, right? It's always fun to get the newest, latest, and greatest.
I'm assuming like Sony is mainly your thing.
I'm a Blackmagic guy.
Blackmagic, okay.
Yeah. But regardless, it's one of those things where the equipment really doesn't matter. And if I'm being blunt, I don't know how blunt I can be. I am being rather reserved right now.
Go ahead.
But like when you get it doesn't add inches to your dick. That's what I say all the time. Okay. That's the truth.
Okay.
Just so you can believe it. It is what it is. Like it doesn't make you any cooler. It doesn't make you any better. If you gave a monkey out of the zoo the latest and greatest camera, that doesn't make it a better monkey. It's still a zoo animal. It just has a very expensive piece of equipment in its hands. So it's like, then you can see, you know, that kid that doesn't have a lot of money or whatever, and he gets a little camera and he makes something really great with it. And you're like, oh shit, like that's talent. Like you have to work on it. If you are reliant on the square thing.
The tilt-a-ring?
Yeah. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah. Like I'm not hiring people because they have a tilt-a-ring. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll rent one from a rental house if I need one and give it to somebody with talent to use.
Can use it, yeah.
Right? So it's like it's fun. Like it is fun, and it's a double-edged sword like because people listening to this are going to go like, oh, oh, fuck that guy. Well, but like, no, dude, like it's like if you have the latest and greatest and you can't do anything with it, you suck.
So then diagnose my situation because I have the Sigma lens right there.
Okay. I want to be your friend, though. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, tell me. Yeah.
So I got a Sigma 24-70. Everyone here shoots on G Masters. I've used their G Masters. The autofocus obviously natively is much better than the Sigma. It's heavier. It's the video performance it's not as good as the G Masters is the general point of the what I'm trying to say. I'm a big advocate. I didn't get out of a kit lens until like 2-3 years after because I'm a big advocate of you have to learn the actual method to be able to now warrant an upgrade. And the upgrade has to be because it's actually preventing you from doing your job well. For example, when I shot the comic doc on the Sigma, I would literally miss shots because the Sigma just was not focusing. It's not the FX3. The FX3's autofocus is amazing.
Sure.
It's the Sigma because when I use the G Master, it's perfect. When I use the Sigma, it's not. So I'm always holding back on an upgrade. Even the FX3, I only got that a couple months ago. I was using an A7 III for everything, all the client work.
I shoot on a Pocket 4K that I bought in 2020.
Yeah.
And I have one really nice lens. It's a T1.9, and it was a very expensive lens. And I've used that same equipment for a long time. They're cinema lenses, so it's like you need
the motors
nucleus and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, I.
So what do you think is like
your issue?
Yeah.
Well,
what's
what's the problem?
The problem is now the Sigma's not letting me do my job as best as I can because I'm.
What can't you do that you're trying to do?
Get pivotal shots in such as like a documentary that I just miss focus completely on, and I'm like, fuck.
Get better with focus. What are you doing in your spare time when you're not getting paid? What are you doing with the camera to learn how to be better with focus?
When I'm not getting paid, just making narrative stuff and.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if you're trying to be better with getting those shots and having better reflexes when it comes to pulling focus, take your camera everywhere and try and go into scenarios. Like as an example, if you play sports.
I played lacrosse in high school.
Okay. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just a while ago. Do you have friends who currently play like basketball or anything at like a local court?
Yeah.
Take your camera and make a little reel with them and practice getting shots that you can't get when you're with a client. That way when you show up with a client, it's not an issue anymore. Mm-hmm. Get better at that. Take your time. That's the thing that nobody realizes. Like, it is work. You know what I mean? It's a job. People are giving you the money that took them forever to make for you to give them something back. It is a job. So before you go and upgrade, and this is the problem. This is my problem with like ChatGPT. It's solution based, which so am I, but it's only solution based. There's no show your work. There's no like how did you get there. It's like you ask a question, you get an answer. ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Right. So if you get the latest and greatest technology just because you can afford it, okay, great. Well, then you don't know how to do it when you don't have that equipment. If there's ever a scenario where you get hired for a job and they give you equipment, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
They'll be like, this is the equipment. I need a camera op. Boom. And you've never used it before. You don't know how to diagnose these issues. It's like people that work on cars, you know? Like, you're from here, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you know somebody who knows how to work on cars.
Me and my dad.
Right. There you go. Okay. Prime example. So like, I don't know anything about cars. Mm-hmm. And I sold a lot of them. Like a lot of them. But it's like these people can, like the guy who works on my car, he in his sleep could take my entire car apart and then wake up and put it all back together without just put a bag of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be that person when it comes to your equipment.
So like the
before you upgrade.
Method-based, filmmaking and sort of really understanding what the camera's doing at all times.
What else are you doing if you're not doing that?
Yeah. Well, you look at all the people, even in my generation. Yeah. I'm not going to be like an old timer here, but like
no, sure.
When
I'm not that old either, kid. I'm only 31.
Yeah. Well, with people in my generation and Keating's, we have.
Oh, I scream at him all the time. Don't buy this. Don't buy that.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
He's always telling. Well, it's not about him, but like he does always tell me like, oh, I'm going to buy this red Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is going to get me more like work. I'm like, no, it's not. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people. I used to go to a lot of car shows and shoot just for practice. Mm-hmm. A lot of these kids they just got the basic gimbal setup and they're shooting at crazy ISO values that don't make sense. And I'm like, because I see their monitor, like let's say they post like a story of like you could see what's on the settings. I'm like, these settings are all fucked up. Mm-hmm. Like this is not how you shoot. You're not getting the maximum out of this camera that you're using.
Right.
Like you're shooting in like 2500 ISO, you're at like f2, like what are you doing? Like just
it's a
stop.
bright image.
Like and your frame rate's not right. 180 degrees, like bro, and you have like a Sony A7 or something like that is incredible.
Yeah.
If used properly, these kids don't want to learn that. They don't want to spend the time to learn what's actually going on in the camera.
Everybody wants to be Spielberg, but nobody wants to do the work to be Spielberg. Mm-hmm. Like that's the truth. It is what it is. And it's just like there's a pill for everything, right? There's also a new gadget or a new thing that can improve your video or your cinematic quality or your whatever it is. But like that's just a simple solution for a singular problem that you also don't know, not you, but the people don't know how to like mitigate in a scenario where you don't have access to that. So like you're not like tools are there to improve and take like a workload off, but they're also there to like it's more about speed and being able to get things done quicker, right? That's why you have these tools. If you don't have them, it takes you a little bit longer setups, et cetera, et cetera. You have to go slower. You have to be more planned out. And so it eliminates a lot of the work across the board to have extra stuff. But if you start your career by buying a bunch of extra crap, if something breaks, now it's not like, well, I know how to do that. It's just going to take me 5 minutes. It's like the shoot's done because I don't know what I'm doing. Because normally I spin the nucleus thing and then it focuses. But now I don't have that. So what do I do? And that's an extreme example. But do you get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why it's important. Like if you want to do anything, filmmaking, whatever it is, like do you want the doctor when you are sick? Do you want the doctor who has the best equipment or the doctor that's the most knowledgeable about what you're sick with?
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing with lighting for me, because I used to be scared of lighting. And I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And the more I practiced it and like just, okay, turn on this light. What is this doing? What is this doing? What is this doing? And then now I can go into any room with $40 Amazon lights, whatever, like even like lamps, and know what they're doing and how to block things out. It's just people don't want to have those like off-camera moments of spending time just like clicking lights on and off. And like,
well, it's what do you do in your spare time?
Yeah.
If you show up and expect to get paid from a client and you're there and whatever, and then off the clock or when you're done shooting, you're smoking weed with your buddies or hanging out with your girlfriend constantly or whatever, or you just lays around and rot in bed all day. It's a big trend with your generation right now. It's the home rotting. You know, like you're not furthering your career. I always say treat everything like it's a job. But if you want to like do something and be the best at something or really excel at something, like it has to be your like passion. It has to be your life. As people, our lives aren't determined by how we act in the times where we're flourishing, right? Easy times where there's tons of money or whatever it is. It's like, what are you doing when you're by yourself and all your friends are at the bar and you really want to go, but you got to figure this thing out because you have a client coming up, whatever it is, and you got to say like, no, I'm not going to go out tonight. That sucks. It's not fun. Guess what? You get paid for it. That's why it matters. If you didn't get paid for it, go out with your friends. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're doing this and you're learning these things because you want people to give you their money.
It's intentionality with where you want to go.
Like don't you want to be better? If you want to make the same, crappy videos or whatever, don't learn anything. Just keep buying stuff. Okay, well, you have no money, but
So you said before that you sort of underpromise and overdeliver with clients.
Yeah.
What do you? Was that something you started doing as of late, or you kind of always sort of stuck by that?
Car business all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the way that I treat my clients comes from that. And what I mean by that is when I went into the workforce in general, customer's always right kind of mentality.
Sure. Yeah.
But people, not everybody, but people suck. And so there are people that will take advantage and they try and just get everything out of you, for nothing. And you have to sometimes lay down the law, but also set the right expectations. I would much rather say, yeah, I'll do the best I can and we're going to figure this out and, plan ahead of time and all this other stuff, and then have them be blown away by something. As opposed to saying, this is going to be the greatest video you've ever seen, ever. It's going to change your life. Like, you're going to be a multimillionaire. And they get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
I always, on every client consultation, the first thing I say is, what do you plan to do with the video? I'm making you a video. Where is it going? What are you doing with it? What is the purpose of it? Or do you just want to make a cool video? Because that's okay too, and I can charge for that. But what is the purpose of the video? If it's to make you more money, well, great. What's your plan? How do we go into that? Like my consultation is it's very long, because I want to get to know the person. I want to know like where their head's at with everything. But setting the right expectations is really what the under promise over deliver.
And it's also like you could, let's say, even in the scenario of I've had times where I want to try something new on set and I think it'd be really cool, but I want to really tell the client.
Try something new on set.
Like in terms of that sounds really wrong. In terms of like a new angle or something like a drone I want to bring, but I want to tell them because then they're going to be expecting like a good drone shot. But let's say I want to try, I just want to like, I'm curious, what if this works? Just show up with it and then like see if it works.
Yeah, like if you have time, you throw it up in the air and see how
Yeah,
it
like
looks.
and like even lighting certain things during interviews. Like I'm
Sure.
not gonna tell them, oh, like we're gonna do this, and then like it ends up not really working because I'm like unsure. I'm just trying to test it out and see if it works. I'll just do it, and if it doesn't work, they never knew anything about it, and I'll just
Sure.
do another thing.
Yeah. What's the question?
So in terms of under promising, over delivering, has that been something that you've done or experienced where like you want to try something out and it's like
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, definitely you want to plan out everything. Drone's a weird example, but I know what you mean though. Lighting is probably better.
yeah, like a lighting style that is
Yeah. Yeah, I would I'm trying to think of how I would say it. I get what you're saying. You test it out, you look at the monitor, you go, okay, that looks really cool, and then you do it that way. But I guess, yeah, because you're not going to go over with, I mean, maybe you do. In certain clients, you might go over exactly how you're going to light something, and I guess that would be different. If it's a smaller thing and you say, we're going to do an interview,
yeah, you just
type
kinda
setup, and you light it, whatever, and then you have this little thing that you just got, and toss that
you're
in
like-
there, or you like see something on the monitor, you go, that looks pretty cool, toss a practical on the back or something like that. And if it doesn't work, you just turn it off, and then
yeah,
you don't
like
have to
little
worry
things
about
like
it.
that, yeah.
Sure, yeah, of course. I'm talking more about when it comes to. I've seen it before where other people will be like, yeah, we can definitely do that. Like just saying
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
like yeah, absolutely, we can 100% do that. I'm like, you're charging $300. What are you talking about, dude? Like how can you do that? And then they're upset. Those are the same people that just say yes a whole bunch of times, thinking no problem, or they're afraid of that. Like a lot of people are afraid of confrontation, but it's not. Confrontation doesn't always mean a fist fight. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to be like, well, this is what you're paying for. I have a client from a couple of years ago now who asked me to film something, and then in the edit wanted me to change something about like the actual footage. And I'm like, this is how we filmed it. You were okay with it on the day? Yeah, but I showed my uncle or whatever it was, and they don't like this one thing. I'm like, great. How much do they want to pay me to CG out whatever it is in the background that you don't like? You know what I mean? So, like, and those things happen. But I'm not, like, perfect. Like, it's a learning experience for everybody over time. But that's, you try to set the right expectations. And then, yeah, if something cool comes up out of it, toss it in.
Yeah, you're just like
If you
oh,
can,
Yeah.
And they love that stuff. But the thing is, if you set the right expectations and you give them the basics, that's what they paid for.
Yeah.
And they're happy. You're not doing anything wrong. If you go to McDonald's, it's gross, and you order like a cheeseburger, and they tell you at the counter, we've upgraded you. You get a cheeseburger and French fries. You're not going to be upset about that. You're going to be like, oh, thanks. We might be. I mean, I don't know why we're at McDonald's, but just to give it like a different example, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they just give it. I don't have to pay. Yeah, oh, that's nice. Thank you so much. I love that. I'm very happy now. I got something extra.
But
I was
then that-
over-delivered.
If it's a recurrent client, then you set a precedent of expectations. Okay, that's going to happen now in the future. So
Just
you
tell
can't,
them,
like,
no.
over-deliver.
Just tell them, no. You can absolutely say like, hey, I tried that cool thing. Do you like that?
And
If
then-
you like that, great. It took me an extra 20 minutes to set up. So in the future, if you want me to do that again,
Charge.
it's going to be this. You have to be willing to have that conversation, I tried that out. It ended up working. This time's free, like a crack dealer. First time's free.
Yeah.
You like it, you want more, you got to pay up.
Yeah.
It's the truth. And they know because let me tell you, in any of their businesses, right, if somebody wanted something extra, they would charge for it. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just comes down to the archetype of videographers and people and
Yes, it does.
the afraid of.
And I'm very thankful that people are afraid because I wouldn't have a job if they weren't.
Yeah. There you go.
You know?
Fear mongering, guys. That's what you should do. No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
no. Yeah.
So you've said, luck is labor under correct knowledge. And
Yep.
I liked that phrase a lot. I wanted you to expand on what that actually meant because I'm not really understanding the full scope of it. I'm like kind of like I like that because I like defining luck because it's not always just luck.
Luck is it's not
yeah.
real, right? It's
So go
labor
into
under
that.
correct knowledge. So the sales trainer for the car dealership that I worked at, we did a very intense training course, and that was one of the things that I took away from the course was the labor under correct knowledge thing. And it's a salesy kind of way to put it, but it is true. In the car business, it's a straight commission business. If you don't sell cars, you don't make money. And it's very easy to have one guy selling all the cars and like 5, 6 guys sitting around in a huddle being like, that guy just gets all the good deals. And like, you know what I mean? And they get all like down on themselves and like you got to stay out of the huddle and everything else. That guy sells a lot of cars because he is knowledgeable of the product and he's willing to talk to the people, and his labor, his work with the knowledge gets him the deal. So again, if you don't know what you're doing, but you have the best equipment, you might get a customer. They're not going to be a repeat and referral because you don't know what you're doing. Like they're going to, you know what I'm saying? Like if you just selling yourself and getting the yes to a job, that's only half the battle. You have to also work under the correct knowledge of what you're doing in order to deliver a product that people go, oh my God.
And that's when people see like, oh, that's luck. That's just, you just got
Well, no,
lucky.
because then you become more successful. And so as you
Yeah.
become more successful, the people that didn't see the work that you put into it prior go, that guy's just lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he does. Well, he works. That's what he
Yeah.
does. So it's like, do you get what I'm saying?
No, I understand that.
So
now.
it's like other people's perception of your luck is your labor under correct knowledge, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like, haters gonna hate. You gotta just let them talk and whatever and count your Benjamins.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all it is. Does that make sense? Is that
Yes.
a good answer
No.
for
Now
you?
that makes sense because I was a little confused on the other half of it, like the under correct knowledge part. But I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
It's just systems and
Okay, but
knowing
like
how to act.
the brain surgery example I use all the time because it's such a crazy, hyper scrutinized
Yeah.
field, right? Medicine. But if like I needed brain surgery and you're the only guy here, I guess it would be luck if I survived.
Yeah.
You know? But it's not lucky when I survive under like the top neurosurgeon in Boston because his labor under correct knowledge, he just did his job.
Yeah.
You know, and then later, what does the survivor say later in interviews? I'm very lucky that I.
Yeah.
No, he just
It's
did his
just-
job the right way. That's
Yeah.
what it is. You
I
know.
love that perception on luck because I think even when you talk about like the creative space, it's like, oh, that actor just got lucky with his big film, or this guy got lucky with meeting that dude. But it's like, no, you had the confidence and the interpersonal skills to make a connection. You had the skills to get on that set. You had the acting skills to do this role. It's like
100%.
I hate when people just they just excuse that whole thing as
Yeah.
luck.
Right.
And I hate it because it's like I am always working and trying to figure things out, and like everyone else should be doing that too.
But own that. I would own that, and I would let them talk their shit while you count your money, because you can't. There's always, people don't just say things. There's always something personal involved in like what people are going through. When you when a person attacks
Yeah.
another person and says, oh, that guy's just lucky. Why would they say that if they were also doing well? Usually 9 times out of 10, they're not doing well. The person who's complaining about other people, especially as you get older, we're not, what are we, 7 years old? So like if you're talking down about other creators, other people, especially within your own space, I think it's wild.
Oh,
It
that's
is
wild, yeah.
wild to me, the amount of like shit talking that happens within industries in general, right? But especially in our industry, like we
Yeah.
should be we're artists, like we should be helping each other and like offering each other our equipment and being like, dude, you got to try this. Like you got to do this. You got to be right there. Do you need some help on that thing? Like I'm very big. I still do a ton of free work all the time, because why wouldn't I? Like, well, I'm so great that like I need to charge my friends to help them out on things
Well, it's like
or
things
whatever.
that you generally like though, that you're
I
doing free work
guess,
for.
I guess if Dan was getting, like as an example, just because we both know him, if Dan was getting paid for a project and let's say you were going to help him on the project and then you got smallpox on the day when you were supposed to be there, you couldn't be there, and he needed me, I'd be right there. And I'd be like, just to keep it. I don't care. I'm right there. I'm there to help you. I can't do that all the time, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, if you can't come through for other people, why would you ever expect people to come through for you?
Yeah.
So there's like golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, all that kind of stuff as well. But on the other side of things, whenever somebody says anything that's negative about somebody else, you got to understand that they're usually going through something. There's a reason that they're having a negative reaction. If you're a multimillionaire, I'm a multimillionaire, and Marvin's a multimillionaire, you're not going to feel bad when I preach about how good this last job was, because you're going to be like, dude, I know, and I just had this great job too. But if you are dirt poor and we're over here making millions doing something else, you're going to be jealous, envious, upset, aggravated, and those emotions manifest themselves in a lot of people as like, oh, they're just lucky. Fuck them.
Yeah.
And that's where that stuff comes from. So if we can kind of remove ourselves from that, the problem is that it's always behind your back, right? So you're never going to have people that are like, oh, you're just a lucky asshole. They talk about you behind your back.
When
you know?
talk about the social media space,
Sure.
I think it's so important because I've seen podcasts in this space that they just, I'm sure you've seen like podcast clips online of people just, oh, Tamron sucks, or like Sigma sucks, or like they're just like reading like controversial quotes and like react. It's like all clickbait shit. It's like Black Magic suck. Like low key, like yeah, dude. Like they, and you see all these comments and like yeah, it does like well, but that whole like sphere of just talking
that
shit
face
about
right there.
Yeah,
that face.
Yeah,
that's like how everybody feels. Like when you start talking about talking shit, like it's just not like, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to be around that.
Well,
it's gossipy, and it's like it doesn't further anything. It doesn't make anybody feel better. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, it's just bad. It's just negativity is just bad.
The people that I've been in contact with throughout my career, I mean, I started this like 2-ish years ago.
Sure.
But the people that have talked shit, I've like removed. I'm like, these people, like I would never do that if I'm trying to make a good impression on someone. Like, oh, this guy's like, his photos
from what?
suck. Removed from my, registrar of people I want to connect with and collaborate with. It's
interesting.
Just like I just, I don't want to be involved with that, because if you're not gonna, if you give me that impression that you're just, we're both talking to, let's say, about a creator, this creator, and you're saying, oh yeah, I mean his photos are like whatever, like they kind of suck, or like this guy, like what is he doing posting all this? I'm like, dude, just like he's like in embodying himself in the craft. Let him do that. Let him go out and shoot, and let him fuck up. Like you're talking shit, he's the one shooting. Like what are you doing? I hate that.
That's my point. So you have these. You're 100% right. When you have these people that are like, oh, you don't have that piece of equipment, you don't have that piece of equipment, and like, but you're out there working, and the other people are
it's
not.
like, what the fuck?
I
hate that.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I see, even with like some certain podcast hosts, I like look up their own Instagram. These people like talk shit, like really like talk shit about creators, and I'm just like, I look at their shit, I'm like, dude, you're not even like posting your stuff. You're not even like in the craft. You just become this like shit talker podcaster. Yeah. And it's like, that is the full reverse of for me, why I started doing this. I want to be 100% myself, not just someone who's, has a platform to talk shit about people.
How did you get into this?
So,
and I only ask because you're so much younger, and so much is different now than it was when I was growing up. Like our 10-year gap of age is like extremely dramatic.
So ever since I was a kid, I mean, do you want me to go like all the way back, or
what was the first time where you were like, I want to do something with cameras?
So
if you can remember.
Yeah. So I mean, my mom used to have like a giant iPad when the iPads used to be like huge, and they were like these clunky little things, and I would set up.
To put things in perspective, when I was a little kid, we put a full VHS tape inside the camera and filmed on that. So that's the difference, right? Like when you start with iPad, I was 11 when the iPhone came out. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the difference on the whole thing. Go ahead, go.
So I'd go on iMovie and make like stop motion Lego movies. My friends would come over
with the iPad.
Yes.
Wow.
And we used to have a playroom upstairs. Now it's been converted to like a different room, but it used to be a playroom at my house, and we would just make films. We'd make these like stupid, like I don't have any of it, and I'm mad at myself because I don't know, some point the data got wiped from that iPad.
Sure.
But I remember fond memories of just making stories and videos and media ever since I was a kid, and just it was so out there and so random, but I love doing it, and I found like friends that also love doing it. So
was this prior to like when did you have the connection between I'm having fun with the iPad to like, oh, I can make movies and stuff with this? Like, what was the thing where you realized movies get made by people?
Well, so movies always seemed like unreachable to me as a kid. I was like,
Sure.
oh, these like, I always just like never put a face to like a person who make. I'd be like, oh, these like just movie things that get made,
Sure.
and I never thought of the process, right? So, throughout middle school, even it was never my priority. I thought it was unreachable. I was just like on the side. I would always take like iPhone pictures and like make albums and all that jazz. In high school, started an Instagram for photography. My senior year, I remember, and this was right after COVID. So ever since up until
I
then,
always forget about
I
COVID.
know,
COVID
right?
fucked everybody
I
up.
know.
All right, go ahead.
But up until then, I always thought of it as something that was never like reachable
Sure.
in terms of a career or like something that I could do. I shot like my friends' cars, and I was like, okay, like this is cool. Wasn't making money with it. It wasn't until I got to college where I started doing grad pics for like people, graduation photos, and it was cash. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like I'm working now, and I'm getting money for this camera. And this was like a crazy moment because up until then I was like working a wage, and to be able to just go out and with a camera and get money for it, I was like, oh my God, like, because I'm telling you, my dad ingrained in that to me of like, you got to work, you earn
This
an
is
hourly
play.
wage.
You got to work. You got to actually do work.
Yes.
Real work. That's cute. This is work. Yeah.
I don't know, it was such a great feeling of like, wow, like I just came home with cash and I don't even think of it as work because I love doing it. I'm like,
Sure.
I don't know. I didn't feel like I worked. I'm like, do I really deserve this money? I was like,
Of course
wait.
you do.
I know I do, but I had those doubts because I was like, this is my first taste of not working a wage and getting a paycheck. It was like client paying me for my service, the service based.
Yeah.
I never had that. So that was I was at Hofstra doing grad pics. I think I did like sorority videos.
Good for you.
And it wasn't until actually I met Sam through buying a monitor. That Ninja over there was Sam's. I came in here. I said, hey, like, I'm looking, like, obviously we set up that meeting to buy the Ninja.
Sure.
And since then, we just established a great relationship. And then he brought me on jobs, and I was like, holy shit. Now I can, like, pull up to, like, productions where there's clients and high-end, like, cameras, and people are making money doing this. And I will say I'm very grateful every single day to be able to have that.
Sure.
And that's when I was like, okay, this is kind of attainable now because I'm seeing cash. I'm seeing people that are a higher level than me doing this that are local to me because I always thought, oh, Hollywood's far away or like Manhattan's far away.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
seeing
this is America. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I'm seeing this like in Long Island for the longest time when I thought, it's just like businesses and jobs. And
Sure.
I'm seeing these people and I'm like, this is home. This is what I want to do. And it was such a great pivotal point. And then it went into the whole like documentary and narrative space with these guys because I met these skilled people that can now help me do these things. And then I started involving myself in the filmmaking process. And I'm like, okay, there's a system here. And then I was looking into how films are made. And I'm like, okay, this is attainable.
It's pretty cool.
But the Playroom videos, like those were the days where I was just like, it was so weird and so fun. And that kid making those stories lives through like everything I do, even the client stuff. So that's my story. And then the podcast too was like, I just want to be able to talk about this stuff.
Sure.
Because it's fun.
Obviously, doctors, lawyers, mechanics, manufacturing, stuff like that is super important to sustain life, right? You have to be able to get from A to B. So you got to have cars, which means you have to have people who make the cars.
Yeah.
What is the point of getting from A to B or working all day if it's not to appreciate the beauty of life? And the beauty of life is the arts. So you have people that make all the stuff that we have to, have to survive,
Essentials.
right? But what are we surviving for if it's not to appreciate the beauty of the world and the arts and everything else that we have? So you gotta have people that create those too. And if you're not tired at the end of a shoot day, you're doing something wrong. So even that's definitely work to get that stuff done. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it's the yin and yang. It's the the essentials and the arts, they complement each other. One is not more important than the other because you need each other. You know what I'm saying? If everything's work, like I'm thinking like communist Russia, like you just manufacturing lines, gray, everything's gray. You can't, you know what I mean? You go home, you eat a piece of gray bread, and then you go to sleep. What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? It'd be so boring. But like when you have all of that stuff and then you go home and you're able to like sit with your spouse or your kids or something and you laugh and you're watching something on the TV. Or you all go to the movies together or whatever. That's the point. That's what you worked for, was to be able to pay for that.
And there are people working to make those things.
That's my point, and it's still work. If you remove one or the other, either life becomes incredibly dull, right, with no arts, or if you remove the essentials, then there's nothing,
Yeah,
right?
there's no world.
You can't just have art with no essentials, with no doctors. Right
But
there.
when someone is so invested into one side, such as like the analogy I was making, that's like they don't see that other side.
Of course
like,
not.
The arts that don't require work. It's just art.
Sure.
You know, because I go home and I watch TV because I'm home watching TV, not working.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's working doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the mentality.
Yeah, of course. Well, we also, the other portion of this that nobody ever realizes, we deal with, like our product is 1920 by 1080 or 4K, whatever. But I'm saying it's within the frame. Our job is to make it so that people don't think about everything else outside the frame. Focus right here. That's our job. Focus right here, whatever it is.
Yes.
But focus here. And if we do that right, people think it's easy. When people think that what we do is easy, I'm like, I did my job. Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't ever take offense to it. When people are like, "Oh, wow, you put a lot of work into that one," I don't want people to say that. I want people to go, "What? How did you do that?"
Yeah, how did you do that? Literally, how did you do that?
Right.
I love that question because it's like,
Right.
oh, I must have did something magical or something right. That like,
This is part of the reason I like the a little bit of shake. That's why I like this. Everybody's doing the gimbal thing now, and you just feel like a ghost, like floating through a scene. Like I want to see a little bit of that shake. I want to see a little bit of that, like a grounded, like this stuff is like it's heavy duty equipment. You got to set all this stuff up. You know what I mean? If you don't see any of that, if everything is completely 100% perfect, 100% of the time, it removes the humanity from what we're doing. So, like, this stuff is cool. CGI it's cool. It's like there. It should be used as a tool to enhance stuff. But like, look at the AI videos. All of the AI videos, like Google VO3 when that came out, they don't look like cell phone videos. They look super cinematic. They look perfect. The lighting is like dramatic and perfect. Why? That's what they think people want. Mm-hmm. And reality is difficult to emulate. The fake stuff that took all the hundreds of people behind the scenes to create that one little frame that was then fed into Google to make that fake AI thing, it's easy. You just take the final image, output something else. But to make it look real and to have that moment of like, wow, like that really is like they're doing that. They blew that thing up or they, you know what I mean? Those are real tears. That's a real human. That's why I'm not nervous about AI. Everybody's nervous about AI for no reason. But.
I love when lights are in like interview frames. They sometimes do interviews where like you can see the C stand or everything's blocked.
No, I know.
But something like that. Yeah.
I see.
Like a backdrop and you could see the C stand holding it up or like the backlight blasting in the back. I love those things because it's like, yeah, people are all behind these cameras and setting all this stuff up and you just zoom out. Like, let's say I light you right now.
So that was what did it for me. I watched, I think it was like Star Wars was the first, like Star Wars Episode 2, like the ones that came out in the early 2000s, that I got DVDs for Christmas. And there's always like disc 1. I always called myself the disc 2 kid because you have disc 1, which is the movie, and disc 2, which is the featurette. It's all the interviews, the behind-the-scenes footage, all that stuff. And it's like the first time that I can really remember putting in disc 2, and you see all of these people, like hundreds and hundreds of people that made the movie. It's not a guy with a camera. It's hundreds of people that had to come together to make that movie. And I went, wow, that's pretty cool. And we were living in L.A. Sorry, I can give you my backstory. I don't know what you want to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. We're living in L.A. My mom wanted me to be an actor. I'm also a little bit of an artist, so I was taking like art classes. She wanted me to work for like Walt Disney Animation and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's not my bag. Too businessy for that. I got an agent who got me a role as a kid in a classroom in like a college film for like AFI or something like that. And I walked on set and there was like a camera on a dolly, like a Fisher dolly, like a big, you know what I mean? Stuff everywhere, guys moving around, guy with the microphone, like over, boom mic. I'm like, forget this acting thing. Like I'm like 7. I'm like, I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy. Like that's so cool. Totally changed my life. And then we went when I was like 10, and I was like 7, so you don't like go into it more than that. You're like, oh, that's a cool thing to do, And then I was like 10, and it's like the stupidest thing, but I don't care. We went to see King Kong in 2005, and I was like weeping because I was like so enthralled with this monkey on screen. And I'm like, oh, they just don't understand him. He just loves this girl. And I was like right there. Then I go home. I'm obsessed with this King Kong movie. And then I find out that Christmas I got that DVD, and there's a 1933 version of it where King Kong the monkey was a stop motion puppet. And they had to interact with real humans. So like, how do you do that in 1933? Right? Well, there was a whole documentary with it. There was like a whole box set of stuff. There was a whole thing on stop motion animation with it. Like there was and it like just completely like exploded my world of like, whoa, what? Like, okay, so you don't need a 50-foot tall monkey. You don't need to have CGI for $50 million. You don't like, you can do it with like a little puppet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can do all of these different things. That completely changed every class project from there on out. If the option was make a little movie, I'm like, yep, I'll just use a class people as actors. Like that totally changed my perception.
Like legitimized it almost.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it makes it so much more real. When you see the final product and it's an incredible film, whatever it is, you're like, wow, I wonder how they did that. And then you see that there are people doing it and you go, oh my God, I'm also a person. I could be one of those people. That's like kind of the
Do you ever
flip.
think that knowing about all the aspects of production takes away, like at the point that you're at today, takes away from a watch experience sometimes? Because you're like, how do they block this out? How do they like this? Like sometimes I catch myself doing that in movies. Like, where's the key? Like, what do they do for this? Like, where's the audio guy during this? Like, sometimes I catch myself like that. I'm like, just worry about the story.
That's a good question. No is the short answer. Do you have any friends who are like, I only asked this because you went to film school / live in New York. There's a lot of people like this. Do you have any like actor friends that do any? Have you ever been to a play?
No.
Okay, first of all, you should.
Okay.
Because there would be no movies without plays. Originally, movies were just plays that were then put on film, if that makes sense. But you should go to a play. And you'll notice that even though there's a person who you know is not Romeo and another person who's not Juliet, just as an example that everybody knows, you lose yourself the same as you would in a movie. And they're just people that memorize lines and are acting. I'm not saying it's not work. They do a great job. But I'm saying like you lose yourself in that production, in that space. And they're doing it right there in front of you. And you laugh along with the jokes. And, there's all that stuff there. You're not looking around going like, oh, there's a light up there and curtains.
Well,
and all that
it's because the story and the performances have to be at a certain level for you to be like lost in it.
Yeah, I agree.
If it's not, then you're like, oh, this is like.
But then it's not good in general.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Gotcha.
So if it's a good movie, are you telling me you don't have a movie that you can go watch right now where you're like, I love this movie?
No, I have tons.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think about the production?
Yeah.
You know everything about production now, or as much as you need to know to make something, right?
Yeah.
You still love the movies?
Mm-hmm. Even actors that play, like I'll have like a couple of movies I really like, and they'll have repeating actors in them.
What are some of your favorite movies? I'd love to know that.
Heat.
Okay, good.
Sicario, Enemy.
Okay.
With Jake Gyllenhaal. What else? I'm trying to think. Oh, 2001: Space Odyssey.
Really? See, that one's really cool too for in-camera special effects.
it was like was it the 60s?
Floating pen, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff.
Love that. Not a big like superhero genre guy. I mean, it was
Never
okay.
I like the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Sure.
It's a cool one.
Yeah.
It's a cool one.
Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy I loved.
Dope.
Yeah.
So cool. So cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You hear that
love
music, like you get chills.
Oh my god.
So cool. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, Nolan. I love a lot of the Nolan films. The Prestige.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
Nice.
Prisoners also is another one.
Yeah,
I
that's
love.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
But yeah, I'm really into Denis' style. I like his directing.
Okay.
And his vast worlds that he like shoots.
So it's interesting. What do you want to do long term for your like career? Like if you could pick a position, like what do you want to be? Do you want to
I want to direct movies.
You want to direct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that.
I want to be be able to make these visions, and I have so many shit in my I have so much shit in my head. I have so much.
Don't
so
we all?
many stories.
Don't we all? Yeah.
But like stories that are dying to be told. Like I
Why
have
don't you tell them?
A lot of them I'm just still in the process of like curating and making. I'm actively doing that.
Okay, good.
Just writing, just writing. Because a lot of these directors too, they write their stories that they want to make. Like Nolan writes a lot of his films.
Yes, he does.
Because I'm not gonna wait for someone to direct, give me an opportunity to direct. I'm just gonna make stories I like to make and really direct it because I'm feeling that energy.
You have to.
And plus, I don't want to direct someone else's story. I want to direct my own stories because I think I have like a unique perspective, and the stories I write are like, I tell them to a couple guys here, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, because I love that. I love that I have that "what the fuck" reaction.
Sure.
Because it's so different and fresh,
Have you ever directed anything before, like on a narrative level, like a story with actors?
With actors.
What I mean is, have you done that yet? Not like It's not an attack. I'm just
so
asking, have you done it yet?
This could be even like a $200 budget thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't care. Yeah. Filmed on your phone. I don't care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The best way that I would say to practice is to grab a scene that's already written from either a movie or a play, and then shoot it with actor friends, if you can, and direct them. Actually direct them, and learn how to direct. It's the best way to do it. And shoot it for yourself and edit it for yourself. And if it's like a super amazing thing, you can post it, whatever. But don't do it with the intention of posting it. A lot of these things you should be doing for yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
To go back and review and send out to friends with adversarial opinions. So one thing that I feel like a lot of, just advice-wise from me, unsolicited advice.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that a lot of creatives don't do is show people what they think is their worst stuff. So like you'll make something, right? And if it's not up to snuff, you're not going to post it. You're not going to send it around because it's not your best. What you should be doing in those things is finding the person, not like a complete asshole, but finding the person who kind of calls you on your bullshit and send them everything that you do and ask for genuine, real feedback. Don't hold anything back. If it's shit, that's fine, but tell me why. If it's no good, like what would you have done differently? Hear the note within the note. So a lot of people will say, you have well, I hated this one part because blah, 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 blah. That's great. But like, what was the actual note that they said? People are very emotional and inflammatory with the way that they speak when they talk down about something. And it's like, okay, so they didn't like this. You can't take personal offense to it. You have to understand. So then if you change it, but then get that opinion from 3 or 4 or 5 people, and maybe that person is just being a little bit of a ass. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you have to cut them off. But I'm saying like you cannot, there's a culture right now through social media and everything else. I don't want to go political. I won't go political, but politics is a great example where you agree with a policy, whatever that means, and so your feed ends up being all of things that are pro like that, right? But you don't see anything that's against that. And not that I'm using an example, so like there's no policy specifically, but I'm saying like, you know what I'm saying? Like you end up in your own little echo chamber.
And a lot of times I will want to get to that other side because I want to see, okay, what's the opposition to what I'm
right. So the best thing you can do to improve yourself is to put yourself out there. Put your artwork in front of someone who you know is always the person who's like got a problem with something.
Even
you did.
with with YouTube, I mean, you find that easy. with comments.
If they comment, though.
Yes.
That's the thing. If you're just, because you go in and talk to people that have no following as well. But if you have a following, if you're gaining a following and like you're starting to grow, you know that right away because people will be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Everybody's a keyboard hero. It's different when you have somebody who you know is adversarial, and like having someone in your life, whether it's a friend or a family member, who you know will tell you the truth, where it's like, I don't want to send it to this person, but I'm gonna. Mm-hmm. Because you know they're going to tell you like it is. You need people like that because those people will help. Because as painful as you pour your heart and soul into something, and you send it to this person and they go, what were we thinking when we did that one, that outdoor shot? That looks a little rough, And you go, okay, well, why does it look rough? It kills you. Like, it hurts. This is your artwork. You're never going to get any better if you only surround yourself with people that are, not saying you do this, I'm saying in general.
Yes.
If you only surround yourself with people that are telling you how fucking great you are.
Mm-hmm. And that's usually sometimes like the family friend members too, though, that like don't really know a lot about film.
Oh my God, this is what my mom tells me. That's a really cute movie you made all the time.
Oh,
you go, thanks, Ma.
Yeah, that's, I mean, same with my immediate family. It's always like, I will say my sister though is, because she doesn't like movies.
At all?
Not at all.
Is she all right? She need a straight jacket?
She's good.
Like she likes like this.
She's like, she doesn't like the time investment that movies have.
Yeah.
She likes TV shows. But
in
general,
cool.
like she watched the whole Sopranos, and
okay.
I haven't, and I'm kind of upset about that. And I know.
I should have asked before I came down.
No, I know.
That's my favorite show. Okay, go ahead.
But anyways, she will tell me how it is. She'll be like, I don't fucking understand what you're trying to do with this shot or something. It's like, I don't want to. She's big on like, if I don't like it, I'm not watching it.
How do you react?
So,
well, you don't know what you're looking at.
Well, before I would.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, like, maybe I shouldn't be so personal with all my work.
I find this too, and I'm sure, I mean, I'm without naming names or talking down about anybody, I'm sure you've seen films that came out of your college from other film students where you're like, what the hell did I just watch? Like story-wise. And when you ask them that, you're like, oh, well, like, what was that about? And they go off on this thing that you like had no idea that that's what it was about. That's a problem. Like that's an issue.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to like, well, it's really cool because if you were like, if I'm asking the question, it means you didn't do your job.
Well, there's
bro.
a level of
you know what
leaving
I mean?
it open to interpretation because there's a lot of great films.
Yeah.
That
I feel like that's a cop-out. There's so many people these days that leave things up to interpretation. Enough with that, all right? Just tell it like it is. But like, you wake up in the morning, you have breakfast, then you go to school, you have lunch, more school, you come home, you do your homework, you go to bed. That's a story. That's a day. Not this like, I woke up and then I walked out the door. Where did I go? Who gives a shit where you went? Like, give me more. Like, what's the story? You know what I mean?
So do you like, Nolan does all the time jump things. That too.
Yeah, but bro, he tells the story.
Yeah, the story's still there.
He loops it all together. And then you go, wow, what a trip. That was insane.
So, there's still places.
You still get it. That's why he's successful.
Yeah.
If nobody got, it's a cool way to tell a story. You're 100% right. But he still tells a story. Like when you're done watching a Nolan film that has a weird timeline, right? Where it's like the beginning and then it's like halfway through the middle and then you go to all the way to the end and then you come back to the middle a little bit and then we go actually before the beginning. This is a really important thing. But when you tell the story back to your friends later, you go, no, this is cool because what originally happened was, and you tell the story that you just watched out of order, you tell it in order. Mm-hmm. So you got it, So like that's the point. All the main things, that's why it works. Because otherwise it would just be a mismatch of crap. You'd walk out of there going, like I did after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, the hell was that movie?
Really?
Yeah, not my favorite.
I got to do a rewatch on that. It's been a while.
Yeah. No, my favorite Quentin movie is Jackie Brown. It's so simple. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. You'll love it. So simple, so well acted, so underrated. Robert De Niro with like a California accent. It's amazing. It's so good. So good. Very good. Go ahead.
I love your concept of like waiting to be chosen versus choosing yourself. I mean, you like preach on that, Don't wait for like Warner Brothers or wait for the studio to pick
they
up.
didn't wait for anybody.
Yeah, just make your own stuff.
Yeah.
Was that something that you firsthand experience and like realized, okay, I should stop like waiting for people to do, like you had that expectation of like, oh, I am gonna wait for these studios to pick up something that I do, and then you realize, this is not gonna that's how it works. Was there like a moment from that. Did that
Yeah,
quote come from an experience?
Yeah, it's deeper than movies. It's like I said, I'm a pretend extrovert. So you as an example, when I was like a little kid, I was never little. I was always like the young fat kid growing up. That was and you sit around, you feel like if there's like a day where you're lonely, you feel like you have no friends or whatever, but you also didn't call anybody either. Do you know what I'm saying? You're sitting there going, oh, everybody hates me. Everybody sucks. I have no friends. When was the last time you picked up the phone and called any of them and said, hey, do you want to hang out? They might not even know that, you know what I'm saying? It's not their job to come after you. I never blame anybody else. If I'm not doing my podcast, if I'm not posting, how can I say whether or not people, how can I ask for a following if I'm not posting anything? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you don't let people know who you are, nobody's ever going to know who you are. And when I say it like that, everybody's like, oh, well, obviously. But it's like, okay, but then you got to do stuff. And if you're doing, my point with the whole
waiting to be,
waiting for or doing it for yourself. If you're doing anything in life for somebody else, I don't care what it is. If you get a certain haircut because some girl likes it, as an example, well, the second she's not in your life anymore, then you look back on those photos and go, what the hell was I doing, dude? That ain't me, right? So why would you do it in the beginning? Then you find somebody, you have that friend or whatever who's maybe they're a little weird, maybe they're a little quirky, but they're them. Mm-hmm. They are them all day long. And that's why you love them. So why don't you be yourself too? Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't shy away from my podcast persona or whatever. I don't shy away from being a crazy person or whatever and loud and out there. I put my podcast on my Instagram, and it's all about narrative filmmaking, and yet I get clients for commercial work off of my narrative filmmaking podcast. And part of the reason for that is because they know what they're getting. So when I show up, I've had a lot of people on consultations be like, well, you're a lot quieter than I thought you'd be. Oh, whatever. You're very you're a very good listener. Yeah. I thought you'd be yelling and screaming. I'm like, no, I just post the outlandish stuff because that's what gets clicks. That's the stuff that draws people in. It's advertised marketing, the 101. But if I didn't do that, and then I had no clients, and then I'm sitting there going, oh, well, I'm just not very good. What the hell is that? Yeah. You didn't post anything. You know what I mean? You have to post it out there. People are afraid because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of putting something out there and having someone else. I always say that filmmaking is like getting up on a stage in front of the entire world as the audience. You get up on stage naked and go ahead, what do you think? Yeah. I'll take questions from the back. What do you think? How many people are going to be okay with that conversation when they don't even know who's in the audience? Because not everybody's, Well,
that's a level of...
Do you know what I mean? It's extremely intimate and it's extremely personal to come up with an idea and write it down and then have other people act it out, then film it, and then put it on Instagram and go, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Whenever you say, let me know your thoughts down below, do you really want everyone's thoughts? You know what I mean? You have to ask yourself that. And if you're okay with knowing that there are crazy people out there, then whatever. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's a level of not being so personal with your work, though, right? That's
in what way? What do you mean?
In terms of when you're ready to now show it to everyone. Obviously, the process is very personal of making a film, especially one that's meaningful to you. Mm-hmm. Once you're done with it, once it's ready to be released...
Do you not find client work personal?
Depends on the project, but yeah, there's some projects that I feel like, I'm connecting with what I'm doing.
Do you have sorry for interrupting. Ask me a question. I'll ask you after. Go ahead.
So in terms of, I'm answering what you meant by personal. I'm saying once you're ready to release it to the world, now you have to realize okay, it's now a thing now. It's not it's tied to me, but let people have at it, don't be so attached to every single thing that someone's saying. If you're going to release it, you have to subject yourself to that, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So don't be so personal about everything that everyone's saying about it, because now it is a thing that is out there, right? Mm-hmm. It's no longer, it's yours, obviously you made it, but you releasing it to the world means that it is now subject to whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to be not so personal with everything that everyone is saying because you're the one who released it. You're the one who signed that contract.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. For me, it's more, I see a ton of people that will make stuff and just not do anything with it, not post it, not do anything because it's not good enough. It's not up to their standard or whatever. For me, it's more like you want to post everything because when you scroll down to the bottom and you go, wow, look where I was before, look where I'm at now. Like that the whole journey is art in and of itself. Like the scroll, the whole thing is its own piece of artwork. Do you know what I'm saying? Like collectively,
I like that, yeah.
everything, the whole portfolio, like that's your life's work. You spent hours and days and, like I said earlier, like skipping time with friends to edit, and you like, do those mean nothing just because it wasn't at the time good enough for your own narcissistic standard? Like, I was watching, Rocky's a great example. I was watching Rocky recently. There's a moment there where Sylvester Stallone and what's his name? The trainer. What's his name?
Mickey?
Yeah,
Mickey?
but the actor.
Oh, the actor.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're arguing back and forth, and Rocky's walking across the frame, and you can see the boom shadow of the mic. Doesn't take anything away from Rocky. They still put it out there. It ain't perfect. So what's the big deal? You're not perfect. If you're perfect, you're done. That's it. There's no room for growth. Like, you have to be always evolving. You have to be always improving. But if you don't post what you're improving from, how can anybody else see how well you're improving?
So did you notice that boom pole yourself, or was it something online you saw?
No, I saw it because I'm a producer, and I would have called it out on set and been like, what the fuck is that?
But, like, no one's going around, like, in the general eye of, like, oh, remember that, like, Rocky boom pole thing?
Of course not. That's what I'm saying. This
yeah.
is the other thing. Because we're in production and because we, like,
Yes.
edit and all this other stuff, we see everything that's wrong with it. If there's a great, do you know who Norman Rockwell is? He's a painter.
No, I might have seen his
It's
work.
all right. He yes, you definitely have seen his work. They did an exhibition, and there's a specific painting where there's a guy he's a very famous painter from back in the day, like that style.
Do you know the title of the painting?
I don't remember which one it was, but the point is the guy had a shirt on like this that had a button on the sleeve, and when you walk up to it, you realize that it's just a pencil. It's just a circle with 4 dots in it. Look at those paintings. I mean, they look like photoreal, crazy paintings, right?
They do.
But when you walk up close to it, it's just a pencil circle with 4 dots on it. It was the button on his sleeve. So it's like everything is nothing at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I went on I didn't know. What am I saying? I saw a podcast that Matthew McConaughey recently did, and he was
Joe
saying...
Rogan?
No, he just did one
was on
recently with, I don't know the guy's name, but it was literally like maybe this week and it came out. And he was saying...
Did he release a book or something recently?
Yeah, he had Green Lights. I think he made another book. That's probably why he's doing this
they all do in the tour.
podcast run.
Yeah.
But, I saw him on like the Megyn Kelly show. I was like, what is he doing on the Megyn
Kelly show?
show?
You see it all the time.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Well, it's because they used to go on all the news shows. Now they do it all on podcasts. Now it's a whole thing. Yeah.
So
that's just funny to me to watch.
Yeah. So to harp on the perfection thing, he was saying basically how every role he's ever done has never lived up to what he thought it was.
Of course not.
You know, like he thought it was always like supposed to be this like ultimate thing, and it was always reality always ticks in and it ticks it down, right? So this is the perfection. Your expectation is here. And then reality's like this buffer, right? And he was just saying like that's a good thing because then the reality part will be the best that can ever be in reality.
Right.
But a lot of people, they don't even want to do it because it's not perfect.
If
right?
it's perfect, what's the point? What's the point? How do you relate to it? That's why AI isn't going to work. That's why it doesn't work. If it's perfect, if everything is perfect, perfect. So what, you retired then? That's it? You're done?
Yeah.
Nothing to improve on? How does anybody relate to that? Whose life is perfect? Who doesn't go through their own stuff? You know? So it's like, everything means everything. If I know that's like a crazy analogy, but like, if you're watching something and you relate to the character and it's like an indie, crappy, low-budget movie, but you love it for you, right? Who cares what anybody else thinks of the movie? You love it for you, you know? Like John Waters is a great example. I don't know if you've ever seen a John Waters thing. He's a New York film guy. Very 16 mil, shoulder rig, creepy films, actual drug use in the films. It was like him and his buddies. Very famous. He wrote Hairspray. He came up with the idea for Hairspray, that movie, the musical movie that came out. He's not New York. He's Maryland. But still, like it's all relative. Now he's like Harold is this amazing filmmaker. You watch his stuff and you go, "What the heck is that?" You know? It's cheaply made, but he was doing it for him. He liked doing it. If you don't like what you're doing, don't do it. But if you're and you should always be striving to be as good as, put out the best quality. But I feel like people they misconstrue like the way something looks for the best quality thing. Does that make sense? Like you can tell a good story that has the shakes and the jitters and maybe it's not the best camera, but it's what you had, but it's a great story. That's a good movie.
Well, because that's what it is. Its story is what is paramount.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's like why, you don't look at 80s movies and like, that's shit. Like, it's because there's iconic stories.
100%. Right.
So, like...
And by the way, like, Avatar is not better than Rocky. They're completely different things altogether. Does that make sense? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you look at the space. I even say this to people. There's no quantifying, like, the best film. It's not like, they have the lists and whatever, but there's really no best movie. Like every movie is so different and has its own little thing going for it. Where like there's no like rank. I don't like ranking films because it's like, what do you mean?
Well, it's totally subjective. It's a waste of time in my opinion. Unfortunately, the world keeps turning because of things like money. So box office results. But my biggest issue with the film industry as a business is that it's the only industry where the way that they sell the product is by telling you how expensive the product was. There is no other industry out there like that. When you go buy a pair of jeans, it costs them wholesale, like, whatever. Doesn't matter. Levi jeans. It costs Levi like $3 for the $100 pair of jeans. They don't tell you that. You just buy it because they're Levi jeans. Movies, they go, we spent $400 billion on this movie, and that's supposed to make us go, oh my God, that's incredible. I can't wait to go see it.
Was you equate that to quality, and the experience should be good.
They say that because they spent a lot of money, the movie's going to be better.
Yeah.
That's not the way you're supposed to, like, what other product is like that? What product have you ever bought that cost the person selling it to you a lot of money, and that's why you bought it? And that's the only reason you bought it.
I mean, like, even when you look at watches, it's really more about, like, the craftsmanship of the watch.
Sure. How much does it cost Rolex to make a Rolex watch? Mm-hmm. Not how much does it cost retail. How much does it cost Rolex to make a Rolex watch? You don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. I don't care. I'm buying it because it's a Rolex. I know it's going to be good. It's going to be on time. All that stuff, right? The quality, the whatever. Like, that's why I'm buying a Rolex watch. I'm not going, well, did it cost them $20,000? And that's why I'm paying.
Yeah, you're not thinking of like the margins and like shit like that. I don't give a fuck. You're like,
you do with movies.
Yeah.
Every movie that comes out, we got approved $200 million, $400 million, whatever it is. Why? Like, okay, so what? Does that make movies, like you just said, iconic films? You've seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Mm-mm.
Never?
No.
Oh my God, that was like a cultural shift. No, sorry, that was a big movie that did millions and millions of dollars in revenue. It was made for like $400,000. That's like millions and millions of dollars in revenue. It's like it is about the quality of the actual product itself as opposed to, and the story and, all that other stuff. And that's my biggest issue with Hollywood today, like, is that they are caught in this loop. And like, you can't go to the movies anymore because you can't even afford to pay your electric bill. And then you're going to go waste $40 on a movie ticket.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's
$18 for a bottle of water. Like, what are we talking about here? Mm-hmm. Who wants to do that?
Well, it's also like the fact that actors have to take such big chunks of money to do these roles, right? Like, what is your take on that? Like, these budgets so inflated because like,
don't hire them.
Because
go hire your own casting. Do more casting. Find actors who are equivalent and use them instead. Mm-hmm. Rates will come down. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. The AI thing is going to change a lot because you'll start to really see how big studios don't care about people. They care about money. They're a big studio. They're a big corporation. That is how those things, like Amazon doesn't care about you. They care about, they say, oh, the customer, whatever, comes first. And it's like, okay, sure.
Because I'm paying them, though.
But only, right. And the arts are different. It's different stuff. So, like, you need to tell the stories that you want to tell because you exist. And there's a very high chance that someone else like you exists. And so it's your way of reaching out to them and saying, like, yo, I get you. That's it. That's what it is.
But the big Hollywood, producers and the
They want
studio
your money.
execs, they're like, if you want to pitch an idea to them, they're not thinking of that. They're just like, oh, will this make money? Okay, I'm not doing it, or am I doing it? Like what is that process? Have you like interacted with those execs? Like how are they?
They suck. What do you mean? They're horrible. They care about the first thing. If you write a good script, the first thing Hollywood's going to do is take it and go, okay, we got to change this because this isn't politically correct. We got to do this because this will do better with demographics and pull in more people. I think we should bring these people in, and no, you can't direct it. We're going to bring in this guy who's a famous guy. He's going to direct it. Thanks so much. It's $500 for the script. Thanks so much. It's a business. Like it doesn't make it right. And if this was 1975, I would say, yeah, it sucks. You're screwed. It is what it is. What are we sitting in right now?
Yeah. We
don't have enough equipment to make a movie? If that's the case, then we're all doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Like severely wrong, we have more access to equipment and more access to viewers now than ever before in human history. Why do we need Hollywood at all? And that's not to say that Hollywood shouldn't exist. And I'll tell you right now, Warner Brothers, you want to call me and give me $50 million? I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not about whether or not they should exist. It's about waiting on them to pick you versus you just picking up the camera and doing something yourself.
Yeah.
That's my main message.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, don't wait. Do it. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And stop making excuses because that's all it is. It's just... your BS in your head that's keeping you from being successful.
You said before that again, I'm just quoting you. This may have been out of context, but like you said,
Here we go.
The shorter the film, the less programmable it is.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Like, what do you mean by programmable?
When was the last time you spent $35 on a movie ticket to go watch a 5-minute film?
Never in my life.
Um,
I only ask you about the programmable thing is because, you talk about how as filmmakers who have this equipment, we should just make what we can, right?
mm-hmm.
What if it is in that short form format and like the short film format? Because that's
great.
what we can do.
So that is in regard to people who want to put movies in theaters.
Okay.
So if or sell to streaming,
Okay.
right, or things like that. So technically there's no limits or whatever, but there are limits. So you have to work within the parameters of what's been established. If you're making a series, you have half-hour episodes or hour-long episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're like a TV series?
Yes.
Okay. So like a sitcom, half-hour, something like that. Or and then you have like The Sopranos, which would be like an hour, Breaking Bad, whatever. Or you have a movie. And what is the only differentiating factor between a series episode and a movie? The length of time. So you have like an hour and a half, 90-page script. That's your movie. If you have a 5-minute script, how are you going to put that, like a 5-page, 5-minute movie? That's great. Who are you going to sell it to? General public-wise. Who's going to buy that? And how much can you charge for it? So if you have a 90-page, like I'm a big $5 movie ticket guy. Like I would have no problem, I would have no shame making a regular hour-and-a-half movie, $5 movie theater. Give me one screen, $5 movie ticket. Why not? Who wouldn't go? You'd see people flock. And it wouldn't even matter if the movie's good or not.
Yeah,
They'd be like, I want to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Whereas you have something like, I just went to see a Superman movie, a new one that came out, right? $20.
How'd you like it?
Eh.
Yeah. I never seen it.
Yeah, it was okay. I like the kid, the actor who played Superman, David Cornsweet. I'm a big fan. And he did fine. He never really had this doesn't ruin anything. He didn't really like have his moment.
Sure.
Like I wanted the running into the phone booth and then he like saves the day. it was like kind of mid. Like it was kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was all right. It wasn't worth $20 to me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like that's for an afternoon on a Tuesday. Like that's not a $20 movie ticket, you know? Yeah. It's not great. But that's my point. So like I would go to the movie, I would see a crappy movie for $5.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem.
Yeah.
Walk in and I go, that was all right.
Because harping on the experience part, it's just an experience to be there.
Sure, but if
to
you
have
want,
that.
but this is the thing that Hollywood doesn't understand, I guess, from my perspective, like on a business level, is like, well, why would you? So you're telling me that you had to spend $400 million on this movie, and you had to pay Leonardo DiCaprio $50 million. You couldn't have picked anybody else. That was the only selling point of the whole film. So now you're telling me the story's not even good enough. Okay, you spent all this money on production. So you have to charge $45 for a movie ticket or $35 because you shot it in IMAX, even though it's crappy. So what?
Sometimes
That's not going to get me off the couch, is what I'm saying. I'll wait for it to come out on HBO Max.
But
you know?
for some people, that is the selling point, is the actor. You look at like the F1 movie, people flock to because Brad Pitt's driving an F1 car.
Yeah, not
you
for
know?
$35.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Not once a week. You know what I mean?
The mass, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If movie tickets were $5, you'd go every week. You'd go
Yes.
every week. Get me out of the house. Let's go dinner and a movie. That used to be a regular date. Date night, dinner and a movie. Now it's like dinner and you're not drinking. Don't drink unless you want to pay for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything is astronomically expensive. The only thing that got people, I've said this before too, there's a clip on my Instagram. The only thing that got people through the Depression was being able to go to the movies. And the whole, do you know what a Nickelodeon is? Like
like
you
the
know,
term
there's the
Nickelodeon.
channel, right?
Yes.
There's a channel for kids. Do you know what a Nickelodeon is?
No.
It's the first movie theaters were called Nickelodeons.
Oh.
So you'd go in and pay a nickel and you'd watch a movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. They project the movie on the wall. You go pay a nickel and you go, oh, wow, that's really cool silent thing on the wall.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Wow. There should be and that's the other thing. It's like you're going to view something that will come out on streaming, but you want to view it in its truest form in the biggest possible thing. Why would you, what's the justification for not having movie tickets be really cheap? I don't understand it. Especially if you want people to come to the movie theater. You can still charge the $7 for the water bottle, whatever. Like they always were expensive at the movies, like the concessions.
Sure. Yes.
You'd have droves and droves of people. If Regal Cinema or AMC as a company came out and said, we're doing $5 movie tickets for the entire month of October. That's it. All movies across the board. If you want us to charge more than $5 a movie, we're not going to play your film here. Do you know how many people would go to the movies?
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, why wouldn't
So why don't
you?
they do it?
They're dumb. They're dumb. Everything has to go up. Everything's inflationary. Everything is like, well, we spent all this money and this actor needs all this money in his contract. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And like just like everything else, when you overdo it, right? If you smoke a bunch of cigarettes, you're gonna die. If you eat a bunch of cheeseburgers, you're gonna die. If you inflate everything up to the point where people can't afford it, that business is gonna die, right? Like if you overdo everything, it's gonna just fall apart. It's just a numbers thing.
Yeah.
It's just a numbers thing, and it's greed, and it's pride, and I don't know. It's not a good thing. I have no shame. I would charge $1 for my movies. I don't care. Like, I don't care. The goal for me would be to get the stuff out to the people. That would be the goal.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stay relevant, if you want to have people, you know what I mean? The biggest problem with the marketing and everything of the film industry, like the people that started the big studios used to own the Nickelodeons and the theaters and stuff like that. And so the government actually came in and split them up because they said you can't monopolize the entire market. You can't be the one that makes the movies and own the theaters. So you got to separate them. When they separated them, the movie studios told the theaters, you don't have to market the movies. We'll market the movies. You just host the movies. You can market yourself. See like an AMC commercial, something like that. That was the biggest problem. Because now it's about whatever movie has the highest marketing budget is the ones that are successful. As opposed to the theaters being the ones to say, we have this movie, we have this movie, we have this. They don't do any of that. It's the studios that make a film and then market it. And they say, go see it at your local theater. right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have AMC doing trailers for Superman. You have DC Studios or Marvel or whatever it is doing the trailers. It's not under the theater.
So you would rather the opposite, where it's
of course.
Yeah.
Look at Best Buy. Come to Best Buy and buy our stuff that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every store does that. The product manufacturers don't do the advertising. The people selling the products do the advertising.
And that's why you think the industry, or the at least movie-going experience, is declining because of that sort of
Well, I think the movie-going experience is declining because it's too expensive for the average consumer. Yes. Whereas entertainment is supposed to be inexpensive, readily available, and it's supposed to remove people from the bullshit of their lives. Mm-hmm. Like it's not supposed to become more of the bullshit in their lives. We're supposed to be relief. That's why it's called comic relief in a comedy. Like you're supposed to like take people out of their crap and remove them from that. And we was screwing that up. Mm-hmm. Definitely, it's not a good thing. They'll get it eventually.
With or I kind of liked what you said with when you were like, I want to get anything made. You know, whether it's like right-leaning, left-leaning.
Oh yeah,
on that part, I love that because it's like you're respecting the art for what it is and whatever that vision is. I think it's important for people to take their opinions out of when you're viewing something. Mm-hmm. Like all of us have preconditioned beliefs in the world and stuff and values, but when you sit down and watch a movie, like, sure, like it might appear as like, oh, this is like an opinionated thing, but like, no, just go in and watch it for what it is. And
it doesn't mean you have to like it. You're not obligated to like it.
Like art is a double-edged thing. It's not like you have to like everything that is art.
Yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like Picasso put two eyes over here or whatever. Jackson Pollock just dripped paint on a canvas, and they don't look anything like Van Gogh stuff. And people say that all three of those examples are like cream of the crop, top of the line, most expensive art in the world. Okay, well, a 2-year-old could draw a picture like Picasso did. You know what I mean? But there's the whole story of him and everything else that you get out of it is what makes his artwork expensive. It's also very beautiful stuff. But my point is, it's self-expression. Do you know what I'm saying? So who the hell am I to tell somebody with whatever attitude toward life, whatever political leaning, that their story is no good? I don't care who you are. If the story is no good, everybody will think the story is no good. Because you don't know what you're doing, or the structure is incorrect, or it's whatever. Like there are like certain rules, you know what I mean? But objectively, I've seen movies I don't agree with where I'm like, oh, it was a good movie. I mean, I wouldn't do that personally, but like, it's a good movie, you know? So and it's so incredibly subjective to the point where I might love them. This is the best movie ever. Tony watched this movie. Go, what the hell is that? It's crap. Does that make me wrong? Does it make you right? You know, they all affect us in different ways because it's art. So it's like and nobody has ever walked out of the movie theater and said, I love that they used that gimbal in that scene, or I love that they used these, you know, some film people get into like that lens. I love that one shot.
Yeah.
All right. But like, okay, I remember like back in the day, you go and watch movies in the theater, like the same movie 2, 3, 4 times. Oh, I got to bring my mom. I got to bring my friend. I got to bring my girlfriend, my boyfriend, whatever. Like I got to show them this. Can't do that anymore. It's $35, $40 to go to the movies. It's just sad to me, man. It's sad. It's supposed to be cheap, not low quality, inexpensive. There's a big difference. It's supposed to be inexpensive because inexpensive means it can get to more people. And the whole point of art is getting the message to the people. That's the whole point.
Yes.
So how can you get the message to people if 90% of the people can't afford to look at the message? Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're stuck in an echo chamber of like, you know what I mean? It's like this weird loop.
I've gotten in arguments with people about just the whole like opinionated thing and like being able to view art for what it is.
Sure.
And I've had people that are like, nah, like that movie's like, you know, there was a woman lead or something. Oh, I don't want to watch it. Or like, you know, like people like literally that are out there and exist and like have these opinions and just will not watch media because there's like a female actress that's a lead in it or something that is against their code. And I'm just like, I guess it's because I'm in the craft. I just want to go just to watch whatever, like, because I know there's an artist that's who made that. So he's got to have a message for me. So I'm gonna just take my I'm not saying I'm against what. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
No, I get it,
anything that's in there that maybe is against my personal code or whatever. I'm just gonna remove that because I want to be able to watch it and experience it for what it is, which is the story and the art.
How do you learn anything if, like, not you, a person? How does a person learn anything if they don't ever accept anything new? Ever.
Yeah.
Like you have to. It doesn't mean you have to like it, but you like. It's like the saddest thing is just walking around being ignorant all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you ever see that person who's like, oh God, like they just don't. You can't bring them around anywhere. You don't. You know. Like if it's like a buddy of yours, just like ignorant about everything. Like, you can't
naive.
Even,
it's really like naive. You
yeah,
know?
but it's ignorance though, because it's like, and I don't mean ignorant in like the insulting way. I mean ignorant like they're unknowledgeable about things because they don't accept anything. They don't learn anything. They don't consume enough to learn anything. Like the more that you've seen, the more you know, the more well-rounded of a person you are.
That's another thing. Like, I remember this is kind of crossing something that I don't agree with.
Fine.
My
I hope I'm giving you a good podcast.
No, this is great. I remember I took a communications class. It was like a requirement in Hofstra, and I was asking my professor, like, I had a great relationship with him, so I was very transparent on like my views on school and whatnot.
Don't say their name because I have a couple, more than two friends who went to Hofstra, and I know the professors' names, and I don't want to talk shit about people.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I basically was like, why do I have to take this class? Like, I feel like I'm not getting anything out of it. But he said one thing that was kind of key, and I respect it. He was like, you're taking this class because you're being exposed to new like information in the media space that can be relevant, even if you're not in TV. Like, it's still relevant to be able to take in that information and apply it to whatever you're doing. And honestly, I did, because we learned about the history of like radio and TV, and like, I don't know, it just teaches you like the behaviors of humans.
Did they teach you about I Love Lucy?
Yes, that was in there.
The importance of that?
Yes.
Like the fact that like Big Bang Theory and all those shows would not exist without I Love Lucy.
Yeah, it was like those. Yeah, we'd watch all like those pivotal things that kind of like pave the way for things to come.
That's what we need more of. We need the next person. Sorry, go ahead. Continue. Finish your thought, because I have.
No, that was really it. I was just like, okay, then it really is about being exposed to more things. That's, you see the trend around history that could help you make better work and art. Right.
So like, well, and that's why, like, to me, The Sopranos is a great example. It was the first show that was shot like a movie would be shot. So it was shot on film. It was very cinematically done, like TV drama, high quality. It wasn't a sitcom. But shows like Breaking Bad that people get obsessed with now, and they're like, oh my God, I love Breaking Bad. It's like this amazing. It wouldn't even exist. It was not a thing. These like limited series or these super, dramatic, these hour-long TV dramas and stuff. You had like soap operas and sitcoms and the news. That's like what you had. Talk shows, things like that.
Game shows.
Right. Sopranos dropped and people went, whoa, like I get a movie like this in my house every week? This is incredible. Like, this is totally different. And the characters were deep and they were real and the story was great too. But that's like a side point. I'm talking about the way it was done. I Love Lucy, the only reason that it was done the way that it was done was because the Desi Arnaz, the husband, right, who was the producer, executive producer and everything on that, he came up with the idea. His wife, who was a comedian, performed better in front of a live crowd. So we'll film this like a play with 3 cameras and we'll have a live studio audience. She reacts better. She does better comedy when she's in front of a live studio audience. That's a situation comedy, those half-hour things that are shot like that. They still do that today.
Yeah.
Everything from like I said, Big Bang Theory to Hannah Montana and everywhere in between is all shot like that because one guy said, my wife performs better in front of a live studio audience, and we're only going to get a laugh, original, like real laugh out of people one time. So we'll shoot the whole thing in one take like a play.
So
that's
need
incredible.
More of those things that are like people are like ballsy like that. Oh,
that
let's
want
try
to innovate, that want to try new things, that like come up with solutions to a problem of like, what do we do? It's.
And you think film like nowadays is just sort of fallen in that same hub of everything. It's just all
everything's
the
a
same.
trap. Everything, or not a trap, but everything's a loop. So it's like, yes, they did the sitcom that way, and now they still do it that way. But now it's a laugh track, you know? Now it's like, yes, there's a live studio audience, but then they enhance everything.
Do you
in
see
post,
can you name any like modern cinema examples that you watched that you were like, wow, that was like really innovative and new, and that like stuck with me?
I would say a controversial take. Have you seen Uncut Gems?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about Uncut Gems?
I was very surprised to see Adam Sandler in that role and to see him deliver. I thought it was
overall as a movie.
I thought it didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah.
Not my favorite movie. There are people that would kill me for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
They love Uncut Gems. I still appreciate Uncut Gems. It's a movie. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's just not my favorite. Totally different than, and I would say Nolan's another example too. Uncut Gems stands out to me because it's a little all over the place. It's a little not traditional movie making, right? And Nolan is another prime example with his timelines and the way that he does stuff. It's all over the place. It's not traditional at all. But that doesn't make him bad. Nolan's like one of the best. He just became the president of the Directors Guild of America.
Mm-hmm.
Like clearly he's doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't go to film school. You know, he made a movie.
They couldn't get in or something. So.
He made his first feature film over the course of a year for $6,000 on the weekends with his friends.
Yeah.
Why? I know you just did, but why would anybody spend $200,000 on college for that when you could do it for $6,000 on the weekends with your friends?
Yeah.
And then when I get a comment on my thing that's like, "Well, it's for networking," I'm like, "Bro, join a Facebook group."
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Join a Facebook group. You can't be like, you can't live so introverted that the only way you're ever going to be able to do anything in your life is by spending money on college. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
This is just a spur of
Yeah,
thought.
go, yeah.
What is your take on like Knives Out?
Which one?
The first one.
Incredible.
Yeah. You like
So cool. Such a cool idea. Such a nice, like a little bit of like a throwback with like a modern twist.
I love the stylistic part of it. Like
It's
it's so
sick. It's
stylistic.
sick.
The characters are animated.
Yeah.
Even the shots, like you get the push-ins to the
Oh,
characters.
yeah, dude. It's incredible.
It's classic.
How'd you feel about the second one?
I didn't like it.
Do we need a third one?
Probably not, but
Probably
I'm probably gonna
not.
watch it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the issue. The first one is like, yes.
Yeah, it's great.
The second one, you're like, oh, I didn't know we needed a. Okay, well, I'll watch it. And you go, okay, I can tell you right now, we don't need a third one.
Yeah.
And Hollywood is looking at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like,
'Cause now
how
it's-
many Knives Out can we do?
Now it's like a Knives Out mystery. So now it's a brand of like
and
stories.
it's like, why can't anything just be what it is? Why can't you just let it sit there? Why does everything have to be Star Wars? Like, why does everything have to be an IP that you can just beat the crap out of until it's nothing? Like, it's like less than nothing. It's just a thing.
That makes money.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If they market it well.
Yeah.
This time will be different. Knives
Yeah.
Out 16. Like, bro, really? Like, do we need that?
Even well, you look at Dune, which I think are two incredible movies. They made that spin-off TV show.
How'd you feel about Dune?
Dune
1 was, oh my God, it was so slow, bro. Dune,
Yeah,
the first one was
so
slow.
my perception of Dune, I never watched it up until like.
Did you read
I
the
think-
books?
I did not.
Yeah, me either.
I always saw it as like, holy shit, this is like a lot of A-list actors and like all in one. I didn't know what it was about. I just saw this like desert and all these like A-listers. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? I didn't watch it in the theaters. I watched Dune 1 just on a whim. I was like, oh, this is like kind of interesting. It was on like Netflix or something. So I watched it. I thought it was good. I think the second one's definitely better, but the first one is like you're saying, very slow.
Yeah.
Especially in the middle. The middle's very slow.
Yeah.
After the attack, very slow.
Yeah.
Even leading up to it is, it's you got this whole like the scenes are just too drawn out. They could be literally condensed. You could probably condense 1 to 2 minutes of each scene, each piece where it's like, okay, we're here. Like, what are we doing waiting around? Like, I get Denis loves the whole like landscape shots that are really long and like it's cool. It's cool. Like you see the desert for like
That's like where I'm at with it though. It's like okay,
yeah,
cool, great.
like let's go.
Yeah, like what's the
Part 2 I think was paced very well.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't see the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you plan on it? I
Maybe.
think you should.
Maybe.
Because then we got Messiah coming out next year.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of it? Like, are you
Of Dune?
Yeah, you just.
It's
like,
pretty.
Yeah. You just not. The
It's like
story.
it didn't get like it's not I don't know, like it's I've seen. It's to me, it's more about the. I'm probably gonna get some heat for saying that. I don't. It's just it doesn't interest me as much. I don't know how to explain it. It's not. There's nothing wrong with it. It's pretty. I feel like they harp on the prettiness too much.
The like prettiness is in what, like cinematography, just like
yeah, like it's pretty. Okay, cool. Next.
So
I see a
then
lot of pretty shit
so
all
the
over the place.
Then that like you're saying before, when you're like, okay, but what is it that you don't like? It's this.
It's like
the
they
story.
I feel like they focus more on that than the story itself.
Got it. Okay.
How much could we have put in that for? Did we need it? Do we need 3-hour films to tell that story to have the same impact? Now they say yes, and Denis says yes, and that's fine. You're allowed to. That's okay. If it was me, I would have done it differently. I'm not right. They're not right. It just is.
Yeah.
Know?
I definitely think they probably could have combined 1 and 2 for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, like, yeah, they do the part 1 and 2 because it's a moneymaker. You know? But
yes.
but,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they spent a ton of money to make it pretty.
Yeah.
And it was pretty. I'm not knocking the way that film looks. The first one, I saw the trailer for the second one. I'm not. They are beautiful, beautiful works of art.
So where's your head at in the film set? What do you like? What do you gravitate towards?
I like stories, and I make stories mostly. Like if you brought me a script about people, you're way more inclined to get a film made by me than I appreciate like the Ford v Ferrari style stuff or like F1. Like that's great. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Well,
like,
F1 is not a really good story.
But like, I'm not the kind of person who's making a Fast and the Furious. I'm not making Tron, you know.
Because those aren't characters. It's like on the vehicles and the action. It's not like.
I like the more real the people are. Not like I like Harry Potter. That's not real. But the people are real. Like the characters, you can relate to the characters. And so like that Godfather, very big fan. Godfather. Like you just, you know, people stories.
And also, like, a lot of the stories, too, like, even in Harry Potter, obviously it's through the vessel of this, like, magical world that doesn't exist.
Sure.
But it's probably based on that author's, like, J.K. Rowling's personal experience with people.
She spent 5 years developing the world of Harry Potter. Every spell, every potion, every character, the backstories, all of that, before she wrote the first book. 5 years of notes and world building before she even wrote the first book.
That comes down to like a process. Like that's a process wouldn't take though. Like I'm saying in terms of everyone's process is different. Like I would have rather just wrote the story and let the characters like grow into whatever the story is becoming.
Okay,
that's what I'm big on.
That's fair. I don't know if it would have ended, and that's fine. I'm just saying I don't know if it would have ended up necessarily in the same spot that it was at. The beauty of Harry Potter to me is the world, because otherwise you end up in. You end up caught in a bunch of traps of like, well, that doesn't make, couldn't they just do that? They have magic. Why don't they just use the magic? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? You have to know the answers to those questions. Research is huge in any film. And I say this primarily because I have a lot of friends who are ex-military, like a lot of friends who are ex-military. They hate military movies. And it's not because of PTSD. It's because nothing that happens in military movies happens in real life.
Yeah.
And they watch and they go, we would never do that. You can't salute that way. You'd get court-martialed. You can't do that. You can't leave your hat on in that moment. You would never speak to him like that. None of it's real. So they go, fuck this. I'm not watching it. You know? It's so easy. And if you're going to make something for millions of dollars, why don't you take another $150,000 and hire a consultant who's an ex-military person? Say, is this right? Is this outfit correct? Would they say this? Would they have the, like, you know what I mean? And you can tell movies that do versus movies that don't. And it's a huge difference, you know? That's just an example.
Could you take two films right now and compare?
I'm not military. I don't know. What's it called?
Anything. It could be, I don't know, just like one example of, okay, that's like pretty accurate, and one that's like Hollywoodized or whatever. That's
dude, everything's Hollywoodized. I mean, everything is Hollywoodized. And if it's not, though, have you ever seen, are you like on Twitter or anything like that? Do you ever like?
Not necessarily, no.
All right. Well, they show, like, if you've ever seen like a real clip of any war footage at all, gruesome or not gruesome, like whether you can see stuff happen or not, it's not nearly as intense as it's intense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking anything that happens to real people. I'm saying the look of footage filmed on an iPhone of something happening, not being political, but like in Gaza right now, let's say, right? It looks a lot different than when it's a cinematic, artistic masterpiece of a fight battle.
Because then
thing.
You got to fit into like an arc of a story of a
and you
visual
gotta see
thing.
it through the character's eyes, and like if it doesn't affect this emotion, then it's not telling the right story. Because it's art, and real life is dull and also terrifyingly dull. It's like, oh, that person's just dead. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas in a movie, it's like you see the effects it has on the family and like all this other stuff. In real life, you see something and you're like, oh, wow, like reality sucks. Like it's like that's all it takes to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like scary in its own way. Yeah. Whereas with movies, you want to invoke a certain emotion. There can be a big battle scene in a movie where people are dying and you're cheering it on. It doesn't matter what side you're on. When you watch a real clip, you're like, that's really scary. I don't want to see that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's like it's all within the frame, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about whatever you want people to see.
It's even like, well, that's the dance with like biopics and like making movies on real events, like such as like I don't know, like Argo or Saving Private Ryan. Like
Bohemian
a lot of it,
Rhapsody, any of these things.
Yeah, like a lot of it becomes like, did that really happen that way, or
Mm-hmm.
is that like that's just showing it because it's an intense sequence of like even like Argo, you could like with the plane taking off and they're like running, like did that actually happen? Probably not that way. Mm-hmm. It was probably just like
cool movie though.
Yeah, amazing. But on the tarmac when they're like chasing them, like. Did that happen?
What's the Nike movie that just came out? The with Ben Affleck also. The
Ben Affleck. Air.
With
Matt Damon.
Yeah. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's pretty good. It's very dramatic.
It's about what, like the founding of Nike, or
with the signing of Michael Jordan.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Shoes for a rookie basketball player name. Oh, yeah, designing shoes. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Businessy and corporate, saving them. Their company was going under, and then they signed him, took off.
Another great is like Moneyball.
I
like that one a lot. That was I think like I'm not a big Brad Pitt fan, but I thought he was.
You're not
really
a big
good.
Brad Pitt fan. That's funny. That's interesting.
I mean,
ever seen like Fight Club?
Yes.
Great movie.
Yeah, great. I mean, like I'm not saying it's not great. It's just I don't know. I when I think of great actors, I'm not like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, no,
he's kind of like he phones it in a lot. He has a great face.
Buddy, he's okay. Brad Pitt is abs. That's what Brad Pitt is. Brad Pitt is like 60. How old is he? Look him up.
I think he's like
he's 60 something. He looks like he's about 40.
And I'm not saying he's a bad actor at all. Like this is just
no,
like
sure,
my
but
opinion.
like but okay, but
61.
But he's pretty.
Yeah,
he's pretty. Okay, there's a difference between Leo DiCaprio, very good actor, also pretty, but like very good actor, like very good actor. Brad Pitt, he's pretty. Like that's it. He's pretty. That's why you put Brad Pitt in the movie. You know what I mean?
F1, yeah.
George Clooney, kind of the same thing. I don't put George Clooney up there with like. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I don't put George Clooney up there with like Leo DiCaprio, acting wise.
Yeah, Leo's great.
Yeah,
I would put him in that realm. Christian Bale, I would put him in that realm of great actors. Sorry,
Christoph Waltz, the guy in everything.
Even who the fuck? Benicio del Toro.
Yes,
I absolutely love his performances.
Very good. Very good.
He's he deserves more attention, I think, because every role he kills.
Yeah. Another one, Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Transformative. Like everything he does, you're like, oh, he's a different person.
Yeah.
Different. Like he is that.
And I still have to catch up on his filmography. I haven't even like watched all of his work. Hugh Jackman too is a very good actor.
There's lots of good ones.
Yeah.
My biggest concern too, besides that's on the business side, we talk about the cheap movie tickets and stuff. On the other side of things, it's like people are gonna die, and there's not a lot of replacements yet.
For like A-listers or what
like even Leo's up there. Like we're talking about Brad Pitt. We've been talking about Brad Pitt for the last 40 years.
Mm-hmm. How old is Leo?
He's up there. He's 50s, I think.
50. Yeah. I mean, he's still got.
Oh, he's got
20
plenty of
good
time.
years.
I'm not saying he doesn't. How old's Marty Scorsese? 80-something?
He is 82. How old is? Let me see.
I'd like to be retired by 82.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd like to be on the beach somewhere.
Nolan's
Preferably
pretty
Sicilian coast, something like that.
young. So you're saying there's no one
Who's next?
in the rafters to.
But this is the problem with the loop. This is the problem with the loop. Why everything keeps getting more expensive and everything keeps like churning and churning. And I'm not saying Marty shouldn't make movies anymore. He's the greatest of all time. But like, it's the same people in these movies for the last 30 years. Who's next? You have to take, at my age, at your age, you have to take that pressure and put it on your shoulders and feel that weight and realize that like Instagram reels are cool. They're cool. If you don't want the art form to die entirely, you have to make movies. And if you're going to make movies, you can't be afraid to put your work out there, and you can't be a total douche when it comes to charging for people to watch your movies. You have to be able to put if the reason you're into making films, not client work, I'm saying narrative work, documentaries, things like that. If it's not a passion, and if it's not about doing the job and showing people, getting your message out to people, you're in it for the wrong reason. Fame and fortune is never the answer. It's never the answer. It's inevitable if you're good. If you're really good, and if you care and you put the time in to the stories that you're telling, you cannot avoid the fame and fortune because you're good. That's it.
Because you love it, though. You're good because you love it.
Well, you're good because you work on it. You do it because you love it.
Yes, but you work hard because you enjoy doing it and because you love it, right?
I think it's more about wanting to get the right message out there. And that comes from accepting criticism. So when you make a movie, first movie, whatever it is, whether it's a half hour, hour and a half, short film, whatever it is, show it to as many people as you can. And don't just show it to the people who are going to be like, oh, this is amazing. Show it to everybody. Because the people that have notes, the people that are like, I would have done this differently, or whatever it is, even if they don't even know what they're talking about. Super opinionated people, your dad. Have your dad watch a movie and be like, Dad, what would you do differently? I don't know,
Yeah.
But serious, like, take a minute and be like, well, what do you like about this? What do you like about that? Like into it with someone who doesn't know anything about making movies, because that's the audience. We don't make movies for each other. We make movies for the world. There's this, because technology is so accessible, which is great. I mean, I love that we're able to sit here and do this. But because it's so accessible, everybody's a filmmaker now.
Mm-hmm.
They just shot a movie, the zombie movie, 28 whatever later, on an iPhone. Everybody makes movies now. But that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be good movies that come out. So if you really care and you want to stand out from everybody else who can afford a camera, you have to put the work in. That's what makes it different. You don't know what work to put in if you don't accept criticism. You know what I'm saying?
I like that a lot.
It's true. Yeah. Like, in anything, name another job where, like, you just do the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Like, you can't do that. You have to say, this is the message I want. And then you say, without telling people what your message should have been, I used to, well, I don't want to say his name. It doesn't matter. I had a friend who makes movies, is in the industry, and would send me a short film with a list, like, this is what it was supposed to be, before I even watch. I would just scroll it, click it, and play it.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are you defending your stuff before I even say anything? How am I supposed to go in, like, raw and like watch something and consume it? And they stopped doing it after multiple me yellings at them.
That's why I'm not a big fan of trailers.
Oh, well, trailers, how do you advertise if you don't have a trailer? You have to have a trailer. I don't like the 3-minute trailer. I like a 30-second to a minute, come see it, coming soon at the end.
Yeah, okay, yes.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Trailers with not a lot of, like, context, and, like, I don't want to hear, like, scenes. I just want to see, like, the teasers where it's like a minute and it's like real quick. Mm-hmm. Like Nolan, his the Odyssey teaser. That's
dude,
great.
how good was that?
Yeah, it's great because it leaves you hanging and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. This is great. And it's like these weird, mysterious shots. That's all I want. Mm-hmm. I don't want. I mean, he's at a brand where, like, or a level of his personal brand where, like, I'll watch his stuff because it's great. But
sure. Oh no, that one. I don't care if that. I don't care if that ticket's $40. I'm going to see that. I will see that movie. That's incredible.
I don't like when, movies used to spoil the movies in the trailers.
No, they still do. They still do. The 3-minute trailer, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. 30 seconds to a minute spot, boom, done. Next.
I think I guess this is not really that too much of a big deal, but like the Revenge of the Sith kind of like the trailer like spoiled the whole movie. It was like the whole movie in the trailer.
So it's funny you say that. So I didn't remember that really that well, the Revenge of the Sith one, because I ended up seeing that in theaters the day it came out with my brother and my dad. I was 3rd grade, like greatest moment of my life.
You didn't see the trailer for it. You just went.
I don't remember seeing the trailer for it. I was in 3rd grade, But like I remember going to the movies to see that. That was sick. That was epic
Absolutely
movie.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters
cool.
when it came back out.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
That's really cool too. I love it. They should re-release a lot of stuff.
They honestly have been with the anniversaries, like Interstellar.
Now, isn't it interesting? They're re-releasing a ton of old good movies. Why do you think that is? Because there's so many new good movies out?
No.
Right.
Oh, that wouldn't be the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
It's great for like people like me who haven't seen all those like old, really good movies, because then my first time is in the movie theater.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like Interstellar.
Yeah.
My first time.
Yeah, that's very good. That's not an old movie though.
yeah, I know.
Have you seen? Have you ever heard of the movie Taxi Driver?
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
You have seen it?
Yeah.
I went and saw that in theaters with my dad, who saw it in theaters when it first came out. One of the coolest moments of my life. Like now, it's like a generational thing because we've like talked about it over the years and stuff. We've both seen it a million times. And then my dad texted me. He's like, "It's coming out in theaters." I was like, "We're going, bro.
Yeah.
Like we're going."
I love that.
It was incredible. It's incredible. Like why? And they should do it more often. But I also think that they should be doing like theaters, if they want to stay alive, should be looking to their local communities for filmmakers because there's filmmakers everywhere, and saying, well, let's play one of your movies. What would be the harm in that? And then do a 60-40 split with the theater.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm trying to get my documentary played at a theater in conjunction with the comic book shop owners. They want to do this theatrical debut where they have
like a premiere.
Yeah, where people come from their network, from my network, and we just watch a documentary about their store. And it's great.
That's cool.
Cool moment for me because I've never had something in the theater before. It'd be a really cool experience just to see my film on like a screen.
Yeah.
But the process of getting that through the Regal Lynbrook is just it took them like months of just no answer. Like because you have to talk to corporate. No one knows what the fuck they're doing when you walk in. Like, oh, can I premiere a movie
you're gonna
here?
talk to like the concession stand.
Yeah, they don't
person.
know. They're like, oh, you have to contact our corporate in Nashville or something, and they just don't answer, and it's like, bro, it's discouraging. Like I will pay to just have this done, but they don't let me, or they just don't care.
Tony, such a good kid. Anything worth doing in life is difficult. That's it.
Yeah.
If it's not worth doing it, if it's easy, what's easier? Eating healthy and going to the gym or going to McDonald's and sitting on the couch? What's easier?
The latter, obviously.
Right.
McDonald's.
Right. Are you going to be a better person in the long run? And the next time you have a film, are you going to be the person who's like, oh, I would call, but they'll never take my movie. It's no good. No, you're going to be like, no, I know what this is all about. I'll call Nashville. I'll just go right over there. I'll go right there. I'll talk to them because you know the process. It's worth doing. Be different. Don't be the kid or the person in general that like gives up and is like, because then you're not in it. And if it's difficult, it just means that you're growing and you're learning and you're experiencing real life. And you're going, wow, they weren't kidding when they saw like my parents growing up saying like in real life, it's not easy.
It's like building a callus for these things that happen.
Yeah,
and, like,
dude.
being able to deal with them again.
Being an adult.
Yeah.
You know, it's you look at some of these like reality shows like Hoarders, and you're like, just take the trash out.
Yeah.
I guess it's easier to sit there, but like, what are you doing? Like, who wants to live like that? You know what I mean? Like, just clean up a little bit.
That stuff feels so like uncanny valley to me. Like
it's so bizarre. Like, how do you get to that point?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Like, just take the trash out. You'd be all right.
Yeah.
Like, do you just not do laundry? You wear the clothes, you throw them on the ground. This pile gets bigger. Like, go do laundry. Like, yes, it's not fun, but look what you're in when you do. It's like a little much, Yeah,
that's all. Or like the 600-pound life or whatever.
Oh God Almighty! How do you get to that point? Yeah. How do you get there? How do you get there, Tony? How do you get to be 600
You know, it's
pounds?
so funny. My mom.
Do you not
is
look at it
entertained
like,
by
and I'm a big dude. I'm not, listen, I'm not like a little petite little
Yeah.
thing, but like at 4, do you not look at 4? Do you not get
Yeah.
on the scale of 4 and go, what? We're almost halfway to a G.
To the TV show.
Yeah,
Maybe people
yeah.
do it for that. I don't know.
Hey, these days people do crazy stuff
Yeah.
to be on TV. But
But
like,
my mom is entertained by it. Talk about entertainment. She watches it. I'm like, how do you watch this? She's like,
Yeah.
it's so interesting to see like someone this fucking big. I don't know.
I mean, it's fucking baffling to me.
Yeah.
It is beyond.
Yeah.
It's beyond. I don't know.
Yeah. But I will say though.
How do you get around? How do you get around? And what do you do? I don't even like. It's
I
like
don't- you don't.
you ever see Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original,
Yeah, I think so. Wait, hold on. Let me.
not the one
Before
with
I say
Johnny
so.
Depp, not the Johnny Depp one, the original one.
Willy Wonka. Original. Yeah, I've seen this a long time ago, but I
Okay,
have seen
so
it.
you know the part where she eats the gum, she turns up into a balloon.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen this.
They need like 7 Oompa Loompas to like roll her around.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't get around by herself.
Yeah.
What are these people doing on the couch? Crazy.
Wow, it is. It is. But talk about disruption. That's market disrupt. Like people will watch that because it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
You know why people watch it? Because it's wild. It's abnormal. It's abnormal to have you and your sister be 1,000 pounds. That's abnormal.
It might be though, like almost like it makes you feel better about yourself because like I'm not them.
Of course. That's why do you think hoarders exist? People are obsessed with watching hoarders and stuff like that because they go, "Wow, my little pile of crap isn't that bad."
Yeah.
I could be that.
Justifying it. Yeah.
I could be that.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not that.
Yeah.
You know? Of course that's what it is.
Yeah.
But that's why movies about like pain and suffering or loss or stuff like that's why they do so well. Because you relate to it. And you go, yeah, I know what that person's going through. I just lost my whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Breakups, rom-coms, like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, is relating and being and separating yourself from your own crap because someone else's crap is worse. Mm-hmm. So like my life really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
That's what movies can do for people. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. Mm-hmm. So,
If you had one sentence to tell aspiring filmmakers or even like your past self, say like wind it back a couple 10, 20 years back, what would you say? What would you tell people that want to get to the next step with this creative craft? What is it? What is that? If you had to summarize that in a sentence.
I would say fuck what everybody thinks, do it anyway, and do it as early as possible. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. Forget what everybody else thinks. If you're 7 years old and you want to be a filmmaker and you want your movies in theaters, do it. Figure it out. Don't wait. And even if it takes you until you're 21 to get a movie in a theater, as long as you're working toward that goal, it'll happen earlier and more often for you than the person who tells you, the person whose whole life revolves around telling other people what they can't do. It will happen for you if you the power of positive thinking is incredible. Forget what everybody else thinks and do it as early and often as possible.
And like in terms of often and as early, people wait on projects because they want to perfect it.
Yeah, I'm not a writer.
Balance?
I'm not a writer. I'll wait till I know a writer. I'm not an actor. I'll wait till I know actors. If you have siblings, you have actors. That's it. Or friends, you have actors. And by the way, all of your friends will be in your movie. They go, oh my God, you're making a movie? What do you want me to do? I've never been an actor before. I guess I'll do it. Yeah, sure, that'd be fun. Great, you have actors. Your first movie is not going to be The Odyssey.
Yeah.
Okay? It's going to be in the backyard. That's how you're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Make it anyway. You have to start somewhere. So.
And letting it be imperfect.
Let it be what it is.
Yeah.
Let it be what it is. If it's not right, put it out there anyway. Make the same movie 25 times. The 25th one will be better than the first one. That's it. If you already are and you're looking for something to do, like you want to be a director, I would pull scenes out of movies, ones you haven't seen. You can look them up online. You can look up different scripts, sides and scripts and scenes. They do it for like acting people, acting class all the time. They'll give actors stuff from movies that's already come out. Pull something, read it, call up some actor friends, and shoot it. Do it for yourself. You want to direct? Directing is all about your connection with the actors to make them convey the message that you want in your film. This whole point. Directing is something to do with the camera, but not a lot because it's a DP. So you can choose, like you can be both. You can be a director, DP, that's fine. But if you want to direct films, my advice to you personally would be don't wait till you write the perfect thing. Grab scenes, guy and a girl. Direct them. Shoot it. Edit it. Show it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. Learns how, because you'll learn also how to talk to people. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, this helps as well. But I mean, like on a directing level, you know.
So where can we find you on socials?
WillCo _Media on Instagram and YouTube. WillCo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, WillCo Media. Everywhere. If it's got the, it's got that logo on it, that's me. Big W. That's it.
Well, this has been great, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me in. I appreciate it.
Hope
we can
awesome.
We can chat after. We'll have plenty of time to chat, I'm sure.
No, I think, but in terms of just the topics and
I hope it was all right.
No, this is great. I'm really pleased with this. So
good. That was the main thing. I just want you to be happy. I ramble. I talk about a lot of things, but I hope it was good enough.
Cool.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, that's a wrap.